Well, a very good morning. Welcome to YouGarden TV. My name is Charlie here with the lovely Adam. Adam, good to see you, Adam.
Good. How are you doing, Charlie? Nice to see you, as always.
I know, right? And we're here exactly the same time last week.
We were, yes, indeed.
By.
It has, yeah, where did that week go? But it's been a gorgeous week. I mean, lots of fantastic weather, blue sky, sunshine, warmth.
Yeah.
Good growing weather.
About 32 degrees Wales yesterday.
Yeah.
Hot day of the year, I think, so far. But Joe, I hope you're safe and sound wherever you're watching from. Talking about last week, well, we're here at the same time every single week on YouGarden TV, every single Thursday and Sunday morning. Now, I'm sure you know this already. If you don't, you've got to get this code, because this code we're about to put on your screen will give you free postage and packaging for everything we have got for you here live. Easy way to shop, of course, is yougarden.com. Add the code in there and look at that postage and packaging go all the way down to zero. We're very, very proud of that. If you're not a member of the club, by the way, the YouGarden Discount Club is on offer at the moment. It's £10 for the whole year. You get 50% off plants and accessories. I like the sound of that. You get 7.5% off more hardware goods like machinery and so on. And you get discounts as well. How amazing is that? Do you know what? Talking about vouchers, you get £20 worth in product vouchers to spend throughout the year. You get 2 free post and packaging vouchers, and you get exclusive offers and expert gardening knowledge. And honestly, I love watching YouGarden. I've been watching it for years myself. I learned so much from the guys here. More knowledge, the merrier. But guys, seriously, normally £20. At the moment, it's £10 for the auto renewal yearly subscription, and it can pay for itself so very quickly, depending how much you're ordering. Well, talking about deals, talking about bargains, we've got so much on the show. We've got fruit trees, we've got something exotic, we've got some classics, and do you know what? I've got some firm favourites. We've got the compost, which we know you absolutely love. I don't know, have you got your eye on anything in particular? What would be Adam's
I
top?
always love the palms. I'm a complete palm maniac.
Me too,
I've got loads and loads of palms in my garden, and this is a stunner, this one, this Camerop's gorgeous.
They're so easy to look after as well. I've got a couple of palms. They are easy, they're effortless to look after.
And they love the heat.
Yeah, they do, don't they? That brings the holiday home, doesn't it? John, let's start off with something we think you're going to absolutely love, the Weigela. Do you know what? Shout out to everyone watching on YouTube. Don't forget you can get in touch if you comment there. We'll read your comments out because we love your interaction. And of course, if you email us in, it's ygtv@yougarden.com. Send us your pictures, because we had so many lovely pictures of your gardens yesterday. We inspire each other. It's such a creative thing, gardening, isn't it? We love it. Yeah, there's the email address. I'm sure you know it already. In case you don't, ygtv@yougarden.com. But we love your ideas. On YouTube, shout out to Mauricia. I've only done 2 shows here. I recognise these names already.
Fantastic regulars, Charlie. And apologies, we were a little bit late this morning. Just had a few technical issues.
Yes, they've got a little gremlin in the system, but we shoot him away. So we're back up and running. We are still going to be here for 3 hours, so we're going to run just after 12:30 because we need the time. We've got so much to go through. Yeah, shout out also to Joshua, to Verna's watching too, to Anne. Thank you so much for all your comments. Keep them coming through. And we'll say good morning to everyone. Right, should we start off with this then, Adam?
Yeah, you know, this, Charlie, this has been so popular, this Weigela Florida Vintage Love. And you know what? This is just incredible. First thing to say about this is it's a beautifully compact Weigela. I mean, I'm old enough to remember Weigelas in the 70s and 80s. And back then, they were really tall, gangly kind of plants that took up lots and lots of space.
Yeah, they did. They took over a bit.
Yeah, they did. And, you know, they flowered for a bit. But this is nice and compact, 60 to 80 centimetres tall. But Charlie's showing you there the spectacular blossom on these that just contrast so beautifully with that dark foliage. This is mesmerising.
Yeah, it is.
And the foliage comes through those sort of bronzy colours, those coppery colours. You get lovely sort of greens in there as well. And then look at these flowers. I mean, you can see that little runway there for the bees with the little yellow track going in. And those flowers...
Bees love this,
they
don't
do.
they?
Yeah.
They really do.
And that flower's almost glistening there, you can see. And this is the charm of it. You can grow it in a container, you can grow it in a pot. This isn't a shrub that's going to get really crazy. If you're literally three floors up and just got a balcony, you can grow this because it needs minimum space, but it will just give you the most incredible impact.
It does. Do you know what? I love the name Vintage Love too, because if I had to describe that pink, it is a lovely, classic, traditional vintage pink. It's got character in this, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see the beautiful, beautiful leaves there, the foliage. I even think the leaves have so much character. They're shaped, they're curved. Honestly, they've got so much life and soul to them. But that, as a backdrop, again, it's that gorgeous, warming, traditional pink is a sight to behold. It really is. Don't forget, if you are in the club, the discount club, £12.74. So it's in a 19 centimetre pot. So it arrives similar to what we got here.
And that's phenomenal, Charlie, because obviously you're not going to pay any postage on that either. There's no, there's no P&P on that. And and this is an unusual Weigela. I mean, this is new, this is different, this is unusual. And I just think it's so fabulous the way the kind of the darkness of the foliage just contrasts those flowers so beautifully. So I think it's going to be a popular one. This one. This is our favourites table. We kind of
the famous favourites table. It's an honour to be here.
And sometimes we get it right, sometimes we get it wrong. But you decide basically whether things stay on the favourites table or not. But another beautiful one is the Nepalese Flame, the Colhunia. I've grown this myself in the past, and this is a shrub that does well in a really warm, sunny position.
Well, George, saving £8 if you go for this Nepalese Flame. Okay, don't forget, add in that code. I'm going to be saying that a lot, forgive me in advance. But yeah, YGTV 2525. Just type that in before you check out, and that gives you free postage and packaging, folks, on any of these live deals we've got for you today. So 561339 is the item number for this, the Nepalese Flame.
Look at it. We always do this. We always just whip them out the pot and show you the root system, because look at that root system. All our plants are just so fantastically rooted. So, we don't just take little weaselly cuttings, stick them in a 9 centimetre pot and send them out to you. We grow them on, we feed them, we water them, we nurture them, we love them. And these are a little bit different. They've got the most beautiful furry leaves, actually, almost like kind of kitten's ears, really.
Yes.
Lovely, lovely, soft leaves.
They're so soft, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, absolutely.
But I bet rain droplets on that, they're going to be beading off. That's going to be stunning.
And also, what you get with these, you get late summer colour. So if you want that drama, late summer into the autumn, these can get to about a metre tall, and you have these incredible tropical, unusual looking flower spikes. They're going to be adored by the pollinated insects, and you know what, these flowers will not be ignored. I mean, Nepalese Flame, goodness me, I mean, these are the flame colours, those deep, deep reds. And here you go, plant this in a nice sunny position, well drained, sheltered. It will come back year after year if you give it that kind of position. Fantastic. But if you want something for late summer, and if you want a plant that everybody's going to ask you what that is, go for that.
Yeah, go for that. And they can get quite tall, actually, as well, these, can't they? So maybe towards the back of your beds would you put these?
Yeah, as long as you've got the sun, the well-drained position, or grow them in a container. They're fantastic container plants.
Perfect, yeah. They are beautiful. There we go, yeah, £18.67. So 561339 again for the Nepalese Flame. Big shout out to Gillian, who's watching too on YouTube.
Hi, Gillian.
Apparently I'm sounding a bit tiddy. I wasn't out last night. I think it's the mic. But we'll try and get that sorted for you. Again, Neil's watching too. Thank you so much, guys, for all of your comments. Right, the Nepalese Flame, well, you can see why that's on the favourites table. Shall we move on? Because we've got fruit, we've got all sorts. We've actually even got a Braeburn apple tree coming up later on the show too. I've got my eye on that. But strawberries, oh, do you know what? I can eat a bowl of these.
I mean, these are our Pineberries, and these are a white strawberry, and these are absolutely extraordinary. These are just unusual, they're different. Although they're this colour, they are sweet, they are delicious, they're sumptuous, they're packed with vitamins and minerals, easy to grow as well. And I'm going to whip one out the pot like we do with everything, really, because look at this. I mean, just fantastic root system on there as well. Really, really beautiful, well established.
We're very proud of our compost here, you know.
The only thing I would do,
growers.
I would suggest in the first year, take the runners off. Don't let these little runners develop, because what you want the plant to concentrate on putting its roots down. And there's a really good chance with these plants, I mean, these are 9 centimetre pots, well established. There's a really good chance you'll get fruit from these this year in year one. And just treat them like normal strawberries. They are a strawberry, but they're a white strawberry. Nice sunny position, well drained, moisture retentive soil, lots of organic material. Grow them in pots, troughs, window boxes, hanging baskets.
I was just going to say that. I know people have done that recently, hanging baskets for strawberries.
Brilliant place.
It's actually perfect because it's way off the ground. I think it's actually a very practical place to put these. People have herb gardens suspended in the air, don't they?
Keeps the slugs and snails away as well. You might have raised beds. Well, you've got raised beds, Charlie. So you can plant these at an edge of a raised bed, let the fruit topple over the side. But these are easy, they're hardy, they'll come back for you year after year. You can actually use the little runners flowers in year 2 or 3 to actually create new plants, so you can keep kind of increasing the amount of plants you've got. But try these when you've got friends come round, when you've got family come round, and you give them a bowl of traditional red strawberries with some pineberries sprinkled in between. The first thing they're going to say is, "Hang on a minute, what's this?"
It's a talking point, though, isn't it? If you've got barbecues and bringing out dessert after a barbecue, that's going to be a real talking point, isn't it? Because I've never seen them. I've never eaten one, but I'm dying to try it. You know, the recommended retail price here, £29.97. You're saving £17, guys, or thereabouts. The discounted club price is £11 2 for 3 of them. That is extraordinary value for money. It's brilliant. We're very proud of this one. It's 320015. I just can't believe what I'm reading on the side of your screen. That is way better than half price if you think about it that way. Right, so that's the Pineberries there. The next one, I love this. Now, some people say these are quite rare, actually.
Well, I mean, they're not so much rare, but a lot of people think they're difficult to grow. But I have grown these 2 years running, and I've got them to flower 2 years running, and I've got them to flower absolutely beautifully. Now, there's some secrets to these. Well, not that big a secret, but I have found in my own personal experience to get them to flower, they need 3 things. First of all, they need acid soil, or if you haven't got acid soil, use ericaceous compost. The second thing is, during the growing season, never, ever, ever let them dry out. Always keep them moist. And the third thing is, keep them out the sun. They love shade. When I say shade, I don't mean really dark shade underneath a tree. I just mean no direct sun onto the leaves or the flowers. Very, very early morning sun, you know, this time of year, 7:30 in the morning, something like that.
So
would be
not
fine.
too intense.
Yeah. So, but really do those 3 things, you'll get them to flower. Now, what's going to happen with these is, these beauties we've got here, these plants here, they will get themselves established this year. And they will form like a little kind of rosette of leaves that will hug the ground. And they'll look nice and green up until the autumn. Now, those leaves will die off over winter, and you'll have a little kind of stump in the middle, and you might think to yourself, oh, hang on a minute, they've died. You know, all I've got left is just a kind of a little stump, but you haven't.
Right.
Look after them till next spring. Next spring, you'll see a lovely pointy shoot come up. The leaves will come through, and next year, year 2, you'll get a flower spike on these. Really? So I say, do what I said, acid soil or ericaceous compost. Don't let them dry out in the growing season. Keep them in the shade, out of the direct sun, and you can grow the most spectacular, amazing blue poppies like these. And they really are the most unusual blue flower of any flower you can grow. I mean, blue's unusual colour anyway for flowers.
But often around garden centres and so on, this particular colour, there's something really quite special about this.
Yeah, and Charlie, when you see the blue of the petals and you see those yellow or orange kind of stamens in the middle, the contrast is phenomenal. And when you see the light coming back through that flower, oh, these are something special. But if you've been scared off growing Meconopsis poppies because people tell you, oh, they're difficult, you'll never get them to flower, you can. We've actually started something called the Bloppy Club. So basically, it's the Blue Poppy Club. So basically, if you're in the Bloppy Club, let us know. So
I need to find this.
We started it last week.
Do you go out and socialise?
It's a very new club.
We're going out with a Bloppy Club.
BLOPPY, the Bloppy Club. So send us your pics. If you've got pics of these and you've managed to grow these, send us a pic. You'll be in the Bloppy Club.
I like this. We need a Bloppy Club weekender, I think, soon. You know, there we go. I'm in the Bloppy Club, let us say. But, you know, where would you place these? And they do get quite large, actually, those blooms. They are gorgeous. Those look like crepe paper.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
It's just incredible. But, you know, every time I look at plants like this, I think nature is just remarkable, isn't it? You know, £11 and 4 pence for club prices. It's 480678. Don't forget we're here. Well, until just after midday here, 12:30 this afternoon. So we've got lots and lots to go through. Email us in any questions whilst we've got Adam here live. It's ygtv@yougarden.com. And if you've already got some of these, or have got something similar, you know, share your ideas, or take a picture of a particular part of the garden. We can try and help inspire what might look good there. Who knows? But obviously, each to their own. Okay, so there's Himalayan blue poppies, lovely stuff. Now this one, oh, the Bressingham purple.
Yeah, I mean, we're going from a beautiful, beautiful blue to a really, really gorgeous purple. And these are gorgeous. These are Polemonium, or Jacob's ladder. So called because the leaves kind of look like ladders. Now, I've yet to see that, I'm honest, up front. I'm not really seeing ladders, but that's the
a
reason.
Bit fern-like.
Oh,
actually.
they do, yeah.
And that's what grabbed my attention first, actually.
Yeah, the leaves are very, very attractive, and sometimes the leaves can be darker than this. They can be a sort of a bronzy colour sometimes, but what you've got here is a tough plant. You've got a perennial plant. In fact, you've got 3 of them in 9-centimetre pots. These are going to come back for you year after year after year. They're about the height they're going to be, so they're about 18 inches, thereabouts, height-wise. Eventually, you'll get 3 or 4 or 5 stems per plant, and for week after week after week, you get masses of these really very, very stunningly beautiful purple flowers with the lovely yellow stamens in the middle there. Trim them back, the main flower stem, after it's finished flowering. You know, chances are they'll send up a new flower spike for you. Keep that flower going. Full sun, part shade, clay soils, sandy soils, beds, borders, containers. These are robust, tough plants.
Yeah, they're easy to grow then.
Very easy. They die down in the winter time to ground level. You might just see a few little green leaves left, but in the winter time they just die down. Next spring, when the weather warms up, the light levels increase, they come back up for you. Plant them mid-border-ish, but yeah, really resilient these, but a real sort of good bang for your buck with these because it's just so much flower and that beautiful foliage.
They stand so tall, and you know, there's something so charming and elegant about these. There's a whimsical vibe to this. It's just so welcoming. I love them.
And they don't need staking. They've got these really, really strong stems. So you know, these don't these don't actually kind of snap or break or need staking. I'll whip them out the pot as well because you've always got that fabulous root system on these as well. Look at that beautiful, stunning root system. So you know, these are just gorgeous, gorgeous plants. They're going to say come back year after year. They're going to give you that incredible purple. Loved by the pollinating insects.
Yes.
And what we've got there, in effect, you have got a 2-litre sized plant in a 9-centimetre sized pot. And the reason being is because we grow them in our professional compost, which we'll come back to and talk to you about later on.
Yeah, we will do. 561523, guide number there, that's £15.27. As you're already, we've had so much variety there. If you've got those in your garden, you've got just a plethora of colour there. It's gorgeous. Now, I love palms. I really, really do.
This one, I adore.
I've based the whole theme of my garden on this palm tree that was already there when I got the house, luckily. But I've bought so many of these. There's palms everywhere now in my pots and my beds. That I've got this one. It is fantastic, or something very similar. It's
tough, this one, Charlie. This is Camerops humilis, and this one is really, really, really strong, really tough. It's sort of the Mediterranean fan palm. It can go down to -10 degrees centigrade, which is really, really tough. So you can grow it pretty much most part of the UK. Grow it in your beds or borders. Grow it in a pot. Palms do not mind being really, really pot bound, so you can grow them in a container if you want to. Of course, they're drought tolerant. And when we're having summers like we are now, with the really intense temperatures, I mean, some places yesterday 33 degrees, we're only in June. If we get into higher temperatures than that, they'll put up with it. They'll put up with the full sun. They'll put up with those high UV levels. They'll put up with not being watered for a while. And if you just sort of scrunch the foliage as well, you know, this is almost like plasticky like foliage. So these are brilliant palms for windy situations. They're good for coastal gardens. They'll grow on sandy soils. They'll grow on well-drained clay soils. They really, really are robust. But what they give you, Charlie, is they give you that tropical feel, that holiday feel. They give you that oriental feel. They get to about 1.5 metres, perhaps eventually 2 metres tall. They're sort of a slightly different palm in that they don't sort of produce a trunk like some of the palms.
I've got some of those. It was quite bare until you get to the top.
That's it, yeah.
But actually, all the way around,
that's it.
You've got something happening. You've got interest for the eye.
These are more bushy, and sometimes you see like little pups that will kind of grow around the base, which is nice as well. So if you want a palm that's hardy to -10, looks stunning all the year through, that will grow in a windy garden, it will grow in a coastal garden, will grow on poor soils, will grow in pots or your containers, and you've struggled keeping a palm before, this one is just absolutely brilliant, phenomenal.
Yeah, I think that's one of the easiest things I've ever had in my garden. Any palms, really, they're always so easy. right, at £25.49. And just look at it, that's just straight away bringing Mediterranean vibes into your garden. Seriously, as soon as you look at this, it makes you want to get on the plane. But 680-029. But yeah, use the offer code, folks, YGTV2525, because when you type that in, your postage and packaging reduces to 0, free P&P. And that's not just for this, the fan palm, it's for everything we've got here on this live show. So wherever you're buying, whatever it is, whether you're a club member or not, add in that code to save on your postage. Right, we've got more down here. This is the magical Himalaya, the Hydrangeas. Beautiful.
And what you see is what you get with this. I mean, the quality of this plant is phenomenal. We've got lots and lots of these out on the nursery, looking spectacular. Magical Himalaya, and this one is really, really different. This is one of the paniculata types, by the way, as well. So that's really good for pruning, because though this doesn't really get very tall, I mean, this is only going to get to about 120 centimetres, kind of max. And if it does get too tall for you, in the spring, sort of late winter, mid-spring, cut it down to the height you want it to be, and the new growth that comes through will flower for you exactly the same year.
So it stays quite compact then,
yeah, nice and compact, this one. Again, you could grow this in a container, probably like a 30-litre pot would be absolutely ideal for this. Beautiful, beautiful dark green foliage. And if yours doesn't come to you with flowers on it, I'll be mightily surprised, because this is very typical of the stock that we take out of the nursery.
Fantastic.
And these are tough, these are robust. They'll come back for you year after year. Full sun, part shade. They're quite happy in sort of most positions. Although I will caveat the full sun thing with, if we are going to start to get some of these really freaky kind of temperatures, sometimes it might be best to err on the side of caution, and think about putting this where it's not going to get that really intense.
Bit of shade, then,
yeah,
you think?
where it can avoid that really intense midday sun. Okay. But what you get on this, Charlie, is lovely conical heads of these beautiful flowers that can start off like a limey green colour, and then they kind of change as the flowers age. So they'll go from that colour to a lovely kind of creamy colour, then to a white. Lovely, great big dramatic heads on these. Nice upright habit on it, easy to grow. Just a crazy, crazy good. I mean, when you're looking at, I can't believe £12.74 in a garden centre near me, £24.99 any day of the week.
I'm sure it would be. Well, the recommended retail price some place would be £34.99, but our usual price is excellent to £40.99. But the club discount price, £12.74. That's a lot of hydrangea for £12.74. That is excellent. Would you put that in pots and so on?
Yeah. You could put it. I mean,
like this, for example.
Yeah, I mean,
perfect time in there.
I mean, you could keep it in here certainly for the first season. You know, to get it established. So season one, it could quite happily just sort of live in here to sort of get its roots in there and get itself established. What compost would you put in there? Well, professional compost. Yeah. Absolutely, that would be absolutely ideal. And you can see that looks really, really beautiful in there as well. So just for this season, put it in this pot. Water it, keep it fed as well. Use our blooming fast, obviously, because when a plant's in a pot, it you know, it can't actually get out into the ground around it. So once it's used up the nutrients, it needs that. But this is lovely. This one, it's got that lovely kind of sort of powdered,
rustic look. There.
Yeah, rustic look to it, but UV stable, frost resistant. Of course, the good thing about our pots is, if this was like a traditional kind of terracotta or clay pot, if I did that now, it'd just be a pile of crocks. But not this one. This is tough.
I mean, a terracotta pot would be quite heavy as well.
It would. You've got the drainage holes in the bottom there, as you can see as well. So the lovely, lovely drainage holes letting all that water drain through, and the little reservoirs as well. This is beautiful, this. I like it. And I like the fact they've given it that kind of nice aged look. Yeah. And I used to hate plastic pots years ago, because you used to see the seams down the side.
So from a distance, you can just tell that's plastic. But actually, even when you get really close, you can't.
You wouldn't, Charlie. I mean, if you saw this in somebody's front garden, you're on your way to work or taking the kids to school, you wouldn't look at that and think, plastic. It does look like the real deal. But of course, it's UV stable, frost resistant, lightweight, and you've got that really, really lovely, authentic look to it.
I like to see the Weigela in that, actually, because the vintage,
that'd be nice.
The vintage pink with a little bit of a rustic pot. That's good. Oh, that's about to be a beautiful marriage.
I'm liking your style there, Charlie.
Yeah,
I'm liking that.
I just think what would work in there. Right, £11 and in fact, comment on YouTube. What would you place in there? What plant do you think will look really, really good? 130576. We've had, I love that. Everyone says good morning to each other. It's so nice.
And good morning to everyone.
Oh, your hydrangea arrived on Thursday. Oh, fantastic. Let us know how you get on. And I was asking, Adam, can you recommend an evergreen established climbing plant for a planting tower, please. I already have wisteria, amethyst falls in the other.
Chachyospermum, jasminoides.
That'd be nice. Yeah,
Go for one
Star
of them.
Jasmine.
Star Jasmine.
I've got 2 of those, and they're looking gorgeous.
Star Jasmine.
There's something just they are gorgeous. One of my favourite climbers.
Or keep watching this afternoon as well, because we might have a bluebell creeper as well, which is good. The Australian bluebell creeper, which is fantastic.
So it's a busy day for Adam. So yeah, Adam's on TikTok about 1:30 this afternoon. So honestly, never get a chance to sit down, Adam. Do you?
No, I love it though.
We love your knowledge. We love it. Right. We're talking about compost. This is not just any compost, because please don't think, I've just got some from the local DIY store. This is so totally different. And do you know what? You can tell that as soon as you touch it.
Yeah. I mean, this is our professional premium compost. This is our most 5-star rated, reviewed, loved, revered kind of product. And really, with any plant, it starts with the soil or it starts with the compost. So if you give your plant the best start, sort of with the right compost, you will get those incredible results. Now, lots of things to say about this. First of all, we were reducing the peat content in this compost a long time ago, way before other companies started doing the same thing. And even some of the peat we have been and are using is renewable peat from sphagnum moss, which is fantastic. But of course, where we've taken the peat out, we've added that composted wood fibre, and that gives this compost this beautiful, lightweight, airy texture. It lets the air down to the roots of the plants, it lets the water percolate through, and also it lets the roots get right down into the compost and create a fantastic root system. And when they get their roots down there, what do they find? They find our slow-release fertiliser that's going to feed the plants for up to 6 months. It's pH balanced, so it's not too acid, it's not too alkaline, suits the vast majority of plants, and it's got a wetting agent in it as well, Charlie.
Yeah, so the wetting agent, what does that do
does,
for compost?
You know, some really inferior compost, when they dry out and you try to water them, the water just runs straight off. It just cascades straight off like water off a duck's back. This has got a wetting agent, so if it does dry out and it goes sort of a bit more like this powdery colour at the edge, it will still absorb the water rather than repel it. So if you've been away for a weekend and somebody has forgot to water your containers and your hanging baskets, well, you can hydrate the compost really quickly without any big dramas. And it is phenomenal. I use this. I've used bags and bags and bags of this year. This is Sean, our lovely Sean Ryan. Yeah. He runs a pub.
I've never been to his pub, actually.
I've been to his pub a few times.
I've heard it's gorgeous.
It is a stunning pub in an absolutely stunning village in a stunning county. You know, where Sean lives, it's almost like a stage set. I mean, it is one of the most stunningly beautiful little towns in the most incredible countryside. And Sean and his partner as well, they always love to have fantastic displays around their pub. They use this compost, and not only to get those brilliant displays, to get bigger blooms, to get more flowers and the rest of it, but because they're so busy, they can't be watering all the time. But this compost
takes the wetting agent and retains that moisture.
It holds on to more moisture.
It makes total sense, because I bought that other compost, and actually, do you find it stinks sometimes?
Yeah, some of it's revolting.
Oh, I don't want it. It leaks in the back of your car. That's another thing. You haven't got to put this in the boot. It's delivered to your door. But you know, that wood fibre, so that's going to give the roots the space that's needed to form a really well-established root system. I absolutely love this picture. This really explains it, because this could be the sort of thing that you're used to. First of all, if you're buying, the stuff from those pallets in the back of garden centres, that kind of thing, outside. But which I know which one I'd rather. It makes total sense. If you're spending the money and the time gardening on all these amazing plants, let's give them a really good shot. And so a good root system like that, so stronger plants, what more vivid colour?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, more disease resistance, more fruit, more vegetables, taller, stronger, brighter coloured flowers. And it comes to you, Charlie, in these plain white bags. There's no need for any printing on it. Stu, one of our productors, always says, the value is in the bag, not on the bag. So it comes to you in these bags, delivered in a cardboard box. That cardboard is pretty much completely recycled, and it can be recycled as well. So so no hassle, delivered straight to your front door.
Yeah, I like that. I quite like the way it hasn't got fancy stuff on the bag because
We don't need it.
That's like an industry secret, being delivered to your house. Professional growers swear by that, and you can have it for your own plants. Something else to add in, we have got the superfood, the plant food here.
Yeah.
So is this an all-rounder?
Yeah, this is incredible, Charlie. This is our blooming fast. Not only does it have the nitrogen, the phosphorus and the potassium, so they're the three main plant elements that plants need. Nitrogen is for the green part of the plant, the leaves. Quite often lawn feed are high in nitrogen to green your lawn up nice and quickly. Then you've got the phosphorus, which is fantastic for root systems. Gives it a really good, healthy root system. If you've got a healthy root system, you've got a healthy plant. And then you've got the potash. Now that encourages flowering, which is nice because we all love to have flowers, don't we? Especially on our bedding plants and our perennials. But of course, if you're growing fruit or vegetables, flowers equate to fruit or veg.
Yes.
So the more flowers, the more raspberries, the more strawberries, the more courgettes, the more marrows, all those kind of things. But it doesn't stop there. It's not just NPK. And somebody a few weeks back said to me, oh, this is no better than tomato feed. It's a lot better than tomato feed because tomato feed does have 1 or 2 trace elements, but this has those trace elements or micronutrients, things like iron, molybdenum, manganese, boron. Now, these things are only microscopic amounts. I think lovely Matt said to me the other day, the human body only contains 3 to 4 grams of iron. But if all the iron in your body disappeared at this moment, you'd be dead in about 3 minutes. Because
it's gone dark there.
Because that iron.
Happy Sunday.
That iron works with the hemoglobin in your body to absorb oxygen. So although animals, plants, humans, all of us only need microscopic amounts of them, if we don't have them, we're not going to be good.
Yeah.
And they're in this. So this is
vital.
This is the most comprehensive feed you can get. Now, it's a granular feed. You dissolve it in a watering can. This will make 250, listen, I didn't mean in an aggressive way, 250 5-litre watering cans of feed, which is phenomenal, and you can use it in 2 different ways. You can actually
250 5-litre watering cans?
Yeah. So if you imagine around us now in the potting shed, we have got 250 5-litre watering cans. This is what that can make. And
that's crazy.
And always dissolve it exactly as we say. Don't be tempted to think, oh, I'll put double in. Don't. Put the exact amount in. It will last as well. It's hermetically sealed in here.
So if you've got something, if you save some till next year or something, yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, if you want to sort of double up on this order as well and stock up on it,
you might as well
at this price, then you can save it through the winter. You can use it next year as well. But so you can use it in one of 2 ways. You can actually water it on the soil and let it go down into the soil and feed through the roots.
Yeah.
Or at the end of the day, when the sun's no longer on your plant, you can literally just water it over the top and wet the foliage with it. And there are some studies that suggest that plants absorb nutrients.
I've wondered that actually. Yeah. So it's worth doing that.
Yeah, it's called foliar feeding.
I normally do a bit anyway, but I never know.
No, it's a good thing to do.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't always work on all sorts of things. I mean, things like palms, for instance.
And it's 7 pence a usage we worked out to be. So you might as well try.
Yeah, but what it'll do, some studies have said that you can absorb up to, sort of 8 to 20 times more quickly through the leaves than actually through the root system. So sometimes foliar feeding is a really, really good way to go.
Oh, honestly, it's so good to have, and this is perfect time when things are really growing, full steam ahead. It's the perfect time. £16.99 for that. That is going to last you, seriously. 100 again. If you're new to shop with us, a very well welcome to YouGarden TV. We're here same times every single week, every single Thursday and Sunday morning. Easiest way to shop and get your goodies home is yougarden.com. But add in that code, whether you shop this before or not, this might be your first order ever. Pay your £10, become a club member, because you get 15% off all plants of accessories. There's lots of other benefits too. You get vouchers, you get £20 worth of vouchers, you get free post and packaging, you get all sorts for 2 orders. But because we're live here, anything you buy from us live, whether you are a club member or not, YGTV 2525 and get that free postage packaging. It's so worth it, folks. We got Anne saying good morning, Neil saying good morning on there. Such a friendly bunch. I love reading the YouTube comments. Anne said, I've got a large jasmine already in the garden, which is in flower at the moment and smells divine in the evening. I've noticed that too of mine. I've got one by my back door, just in a pot. Honestly, there's no stopping this thing.
Yeah, they do smell, especially on these warm evenings. The fragrance is divine on those. Yeah. Really, really gorgeous.
It's so delicate. delicate, it's so welcoming, isn't it? It's lovely. Right, yeah, any more questions then do email us in or comment on YouTube. Right, cheeky bit of a recap for you, because if you've just joined us, wow, it's nearly 10:15 already. We're here till 12:30, so about another hour and 20 minutes. We did start a little bit late this morning, forgive us, so we'll run over a bit to make up for time. Now, the Petite Jenny, this is something I saw some time ago. I love the way these just charismatically sway in that beautiful summer breeze. There's something so charming and elegant about this, folks. You're saving £12 too, £15.28. Come in 9cm pots, but save that money. It's so worth it. Petite Jenny, we've had this on a few times because, well, people love it. If you're one of the many customers from YouGarden who's got this, can you send us in a picture? Because we're dying to see what it looks like in your garden. So we're at 561-335. But look at it. It just most beautiful bathed colour in your garden. I can't get enough of this. It's all about the Petite Jenny. Easy to look after too. It can get quite tall, as you see, but the way they just sway in the wind, there's something so elegant about it. But yeah, you'll see that and lots more on YouGarden.com. Okay, how about this? Now, I haven't seen this yet from a distance. I thought it was got an olive tree. It's not. This is the Little Red Robin. This is beautiful colouring for, well, the majority of the year. You got the most gorgeous red leaves for £29.74. This is so worth it. You're saving £5 on this one too, but they can get quite tall. So about well, they arrive about 70 to 80 centimetres. So you've already got instant impact for your garden. But for me, it gives a little bit of a Mediterranean look, but I love the red. They add warmth into your garden. Seriously, they're stunning. Right, okay, now the next one is another one of my favourites. This is the Nandina, the red light. Do you know what? 511559. Now, some people call this sacred bamboo. It's not actually bamboo, so don't let that put you off. It's not. It gives the appearance, but it hasn't got the invasive attitude of bamboo. But we love Nandina. I've only done a couple of shows here on YouGarden. This is my favourite. I'm actually putting a mental shopping list together every time I'm here. I'm here to shop, but I'm not really. This is absolutely going in my basket because I love that vibe and it's so easy to look after. It's £11.04 for something truly exotic looking. So yeah, 511559. That is definitely on my street. Now, we've also got the lavender pack for you. So how about this? This is the Hig Coat. This is an absolute classic. It's one of the most fragrant lavender I've read too. You get 10 9cm pots. So you might space these out to make a hedge. What, about a foot apart, Adam, you think? One
about 12, 15 inches apart.
About that. Make a hedge out of this, why not? But they're going to look gorgeous. It's a quick, easy way of getting something so classic into your garden. It's £25.42. So 510839. You can't beat that look, can you? You just cannot beat it. And it's good to buy lavender at this stage because, you know, it can, if you're buying really established lavender, it can get quite quickly. But this is the most perfect time to get it. It really is. Pollinators obviously love it too. Okay, the next one we got. We wouldn't be a YouGarden TV show without a classic rose, would it?
Yeah, this is a Constantina Fresca, this rose. And this, Charlie, is a really stunningly beautiful rose, this one. You can excuse the little scuff mark on there, but this is a really beautiful flower. It's sort of got little sort of hints of white in between the actual dark red petals there. It's almost got like a jumping gene, this one. So every flower on this is different, it's individual. And this is a floribunda rose. So what that actually means is...
So I know that name well.
Yeah. So what you get is, rather than just... I mean, at the moment, some of these have just got one flower, but once this gets established, you'll have a beautiful cluster of flowers per stem on there. So lovely bunches of these beautiful, unusual flowers, predominantly that kind of pinky red colour. Look at this. I mean, goodness me. It's phenomenally beautiful, this. These flowers almost look akin to peonies to me, like peony flowers. But loads and loads of them. It's repeat flowering, so deadhead it, it'll keep repeat flowering for you all the way through the summer into the autumn. Only gets to about 80 centimetres tall, so really, really nice compact plant, this one. You could grow it in a large container if you wanted to, or obviously grow it in beds and borders. Very healthy, disease-resistant foliage as well. Long-lived. Obviously, it's a rose. It will come back for you year after year. Full sun, part shade, clay soil, sandy soils.
They're so resilient, aren't
Really,
they?
really not fussed.
But can I ask you a question? When you're deadheading, because some people say to me you should do it at an angle or not. What do you believe in that? Or do you not worry about too much?
You know, sometimes some things are a little bit over technical, but the idea is if you deadhead at an angle, then the idea is when it rains, the water droplets just run off the end of the stem.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, rather than sit on the end, and then they can cause like rot or bacteria to develop.
Ah, I understand. Interesting.
But you know what? Don't get hung up on that.
No, this is it. You can overcomplicate things.
Yeah, I really don't think it makes a big difference in the long run, to be honest.
Well, there we go, £16.90. I've always wondered why. Right, saving £10 here too. So in a 4-litre pot, how about adding that burst of energy to your garden? The layers and layers and layers in that bloom is something you just want to explore. It's gorgeous. Right, so there we go. If you add it to your basket, and I'm going to say it again, add in that code, so YGTV 2525. When you pop it in, your postage and packaging will reduce to 0. How about that? No one wants to spend postage and packaging when they don't have to. But it's not just for the rose, it's for any live deals, whether it's the Oleander, whether it's the fan palm, whether it's the apple trees, the Weigela, anything on the show, you can have it delivered for free. So no post and packaging, it's just the price on your screen there. If you're a club member, and if you're not a member, you can actually become one right now. It's £10 for the auto renewal subscription. Normally it's 20. But now it's £10, so it's a bargain for that. And I think if you're buying a few plants here, that £10 you spend in the club, you could probably get that back in your first order, depending on what you buy. But you can really get your money back really, really quickly in that respect. Right, we've got the pink waxflower now. Adam.
Yeah, I adore this. In fact, I'm kind of liking this plant more and more as time goes by. You can see in the picture behind the beautiful pink flowers on these. Now, this has a main flowering period a little bit earlier in the year. And earlier in the year, it almost disappeared. Well, the foliage almost disappeared with the amount of flowers covered in this. And then what we said to you was, and let's have a look into this plant, because what I said was at that time,
it's very bushy.
Yeah, I said what you find is, and you do, you throughout the summer you'll find little sporadic kind of little patches of pink flower that will keep sort of coming for you through the summer. In fact, there's some. Just a little few pinky ones just there, you can see, so it'll keep doing that. But I like it more than I did earlier on, because in the spring it was a kind of a perfect ball shape, which some people might like, but I actually like it now. It's got to be a little bit more wild looking.
Natural, yeah.
Yeah, a bit more natural looking. You've got that beautiful sort of limey green new foliage on there. This is very tactile, this plant as well. It feels wonderful to touch.
Oh, do you know what? It's not spiky or anything. No. It's quite soft, quite malleable.
Because it's got almost like pine needle kind of looking leaves, but this isn't prickly at all. It is actually quite nice just to sort of scrunch the foliage. Full sun, well-drained position. A great container plant. I'll be up front with you in sort of very cold areas or in colder patches during the winter time. This will benefit from a little bit of protection. So, you know, this isn't one that wants to go down to kind of -4, -5 for that kind of period of time, or any period of time really. So during that really cold patch, if you've got it in a pot or a container, just pop it in the garage for a few days, or the greenhouse, or somewhere where it just sort of stays above freezing. Yeah, it doesn't need to be mollycoddle. It doesn't want to be in your living room, 20-25 degrees. Just as long as you can just keep the most severe of the frost off of it, reduce the watering down a little bit, keep it in a nice bright spot. Eventually it'll get double the height and double the width of this. It's evergreen, so it looks fabulous all the year through. And the pollinating insects, well, there you go. They will adore it. Really, really love it. It's sweet, it's unusual, it's beguiling, it's charming. It's an interesting, happy, beautiful plant, this. And I just love that lovely sort of evergreen foliage that kind of deceives you a bit, because you might think, oh, that looks spiky. But when you touch it feels really, really nice.
You know, it's funny, it does actually feel a little bit waxy. Doesn't it? Maybe hence the name. But it truly does, folks. And you know, we're always on the hunt for something slightly unusual. I think in a garden, well, me personally, everyone's got their own ideas, but something classic, something a little bit unusual. If you want to get a vast array of different looks and styles, then this is absolutely going to be added into your basket. I think it's an absolute must, this. Normally, you'd expect to pay something, maybe in the garden centre, about £19.99. Wouldn't surprise me, but for £15.29, the club is just excellent. Delivered for that price, don't forget. Add in the code, it takes away your P&P. It's 680270. Right, I've been really looking forward to this, the Osteospermum.
Yeah,
the purple sun.
Look at these. I mean, these are just purely perfect plants. I mean, the quality of what we send out is phenomenal. Multi-branch. Let's whip it out the pot. Let's see this plant from top. Hey,
oh my word, that's
look at that.
so rich.
Look, yeah, I mean, from the tip of the roots to the top of the flowers, everything about this plant is quality. So you've got that fabulous root system there. You've got sort of lovely super branch plant. But look at the flower on the top there. I mean, you've got that incredibly beautiful flower. And these flowers are all different as well. I've yet to see one flower on an Osteospermum purple sun that is kind of identical one to the other. Each one of them has that sort of slightly different look. This is Sean's garden, by the way, Sean again, and he grows them.
Well, they've done well, haven't they? Look at that.
Sean's got them full sun on a pot, in a pot, on his balcony, on his decking.
They're not that old here today, is this second year, I think?
Well, these you can actually get these through the winter if you give them protection. I mean, sometimes we say to treat them as an annual.
Yeah.
So, but what you'll get, I mean, they're flowering now, already flowering now. They're going to keep flowering through the rest of June, July, August, September, October. In the right position, they could even keep flowering into November. Deadhead them. If you've got them in a pot or container, feed them, liquid feed them, use our blooming fast. That will keep those flowers going, it will keep the vigour going. But what they do, they develop this gorgeous, perfect dome of colour. And look at the colours in that. I mean, they are sunrise, tropical sunset colours. You've got purples, you've got pinks, you've got oranges, you've got yellows. And you've got the most stunningly beautiful plants there, garden ready. Plant them straight out and start enjoying colour from the first minute you take them out the box.
But they look good on that video you just showed you, but in person, there's something about the intensity. It looks like there's a bit of an iridescence to it or something.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a glow to them. So I looked at some of these osteos just outside the studio, and from a distance, it's the first thing actually that catches my eye. I always think what grabs my attention first. If you want a pop of energy, that colour to your garden, then this is truly special. If you're looking for some colour, if some of your beds and pots look a little bit dull, if you want to brighten up certain areas, the Osteos, people love it for that. For £15.27. Right, 560812. Now, do you know what? I was looking at the lineup we had the other day, and I really couldn't wait to see these lupins because I've got my eye on these. These can get quite tall.
Yeah, I mean, these ones get to about 50 to 60 centimetres. So they're not the tallest lupins in the world, and that's quite good because these ones are a little bit more of a compact variety. So that means you don't necessarily need to stake these because
some can get a bit over.
And I love lupins, and also I like things like delphiniums. But when you see masses of bamboo canes around them and string and everything, it detracts,
they're a bit too tall, can't they?
Yeah, but these won't. These will stay nice and compact for you. Super strong stems, and you've got three fabulous colours. You've got this bicolour purple one there, that bluey purple with the white. We've got a lovely pinky coloured one. This one here, which is really, really stunning. This one, and then we've got a pure white one for you. So three beautiful colours in this collection. Well-established plants in 9cm pots, and you can get lupins to flower twice. So these probably will flower for you this year. They're hardy, by the way, so they will come back year after year. Grow them somewhere in a bright, sunny position, well-drained soil that's moisture retentive. If you don't want to grow them in the garden, they make fabulous pot or container plants as well. So when the main flower spike is finished, trim that main flower spike off. Then you'll get little kind of baby flower spikes that come up from the side, and they will continue that display for you. When they've gone, just take all the stems down to about 3 or 4 inches. Right. Liquid feed.
So not all the way off then?
Just so when the initial flower spike's gone, take that off. You'll get little side shoots of little more baby flowers. When they've gone, take the whole flower spike down to about 3 or 4 inches above ground level. Liquid feed with blooming fast. You'll get a new lot of shoots come up, and those new shoots roots will give you a second lot of flower about 4 to 6 weeks later. So you can even get lupins to double flower for you. Lovely cottage garden plant. They add nitrogen to the soil as well, by the way. Loved by children, and they just bring back kind of lovely childhood memories for me.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Lupins, there's something so classic about them. Well, normally recommended retail price is £29.97. Maybe that rings a bell if you've seen something similar in garden centres. But look, the joy is here. It's delivered to your door for £13.57. If you're a club member, if you're not a club member, still a great deal. It's £15.97, but it's £10 for the whole year to become a member. Then you can get all these deals, not just from the show. I mean, there's so much on the website. You basically get 15% off plants and accessories, 7.5% off your more hardware goods like machinery and so on. But the deals on this show, add in that code to have free process of packaging. Right, oleanders. I've got a pink one actually. I've got another pot spare, and I think a white one had a nice contrast actually.
Yeah, this is absolutely beautiful, Charlie. This is our oleander, our white oleander, in full flower now, been flowering for a long time. It's going to keep flowering for a long time. I mean, even once one of the main flower spikes is finished, if you trim that off, there's little side shoots coming up on the side here, and these little side shoots will produce flowers for you as well. So if you actually put these in a really hot, sunny position, the sunniest, warmest, most sheltered position in your garden, you can keep them flowering all the way through the summer, right up until late summer into early autumn. These can be hardy eventually to about -4, -5. They're evergreen, so they have those lovely willow-like, waxy evergreen leaves. But we always say in the first couple of years, do give them some winter protection. Don't let them really suffer those very strong frosts. Okay. Yeah. So grow them in a pot or a container. And it's like we said earlier on about the waxflower. No need to go spending money on heating and all that kind of stuff. Perhaps a porchway, perhaps right up against the house under the eaves, south facing. Perhaps a garage that doesn't get really cold. Yeah. As long as they've got some light, reduce the watering. They'll bumble through the winter. Next spring, bring them back out into the sun. They'll reshoot and they'll flower for you all over again. And there's a little secret you can do with this. In fact, I sent Stu a picture last night of what I've done with mine. Our head gardener, Peter, head gardener, came in a few weeks ago, and I'm going to show you very quickly because what you've got in here. Let's whip this out the pot. You've got, look at the root system.
It's always impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, but what you can do if you want, these are 3 separate cuttings. So you could, when you get it home, you can just pull these apart gradually, like that, and you can create 3 separate plants.
Oh, do you know what? I remember that.
And pop them on separately if you want to. So you can get 3 for the price of 1.
Well, when would you do that, sir?
You could do it now if you wanted to. Yeah. And then give them a good drink.
That's a great idea.
I mean, you don't have to do that. If you want a fuller, sort of bushier plant, then just leave as is. But if you want to divide them into 3 separate ones, then by all means do that. But yeah, these are evergreen. They can be hardy to -4, -5. They come back year after year. They can get to about 1 metre, 1.5 metres tall. But they have that holiday feel, that tropical feel, that
they do.
Really,
it's the leaves that do that.
Mediterranean feel to your garden.
It's the shape of the leaves. There's something so unique and special about this. And look, the flowers obviously lovely, but I actually love it equally as well, just for that foliage. There's something quite dramatic about it. So yeah, 680-058 for your item number there. Right, have we got any more questions? Email us in. We've actually got some more comments on YouTube. Oh, Gillian's saying, I consider myself a compost snob now. And I think we need a club, don't we? Compost snobbery. Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, and you will become a compost snob.
We just meet up, have a coffee and moan about the compost. We could do that.
Yeah, you won't want to use another compost after using ours because the results are just phenomenal. We don't just say that. It's not just sales talk. I mean, look at the reviews. Talk to other people in the chat who use it. They'll tell you. They'll tell you they've had the most amazing results.
They do. People come back to buy more, and that says so much, doesn't it? We've had more emails. Let's have a look. Mauricio says, when is the pre-planted hanging baskets being dispatched? And the ones from QVC. We'll get that checked for you. Neil says, love the osteospermum and the purple sun. Mine are flowering beautifully. Same for the gallery lupins, which reminds me.
Oh, good.
Oh, I've still got some to plant out. They're already flowering in their small pots. Oh, that sounds beautiful.
That's superb.
The purple sun, honestly, if you're going for those, the gorgeous. I'm glad yours looking good too, Neil. Right, we're going to read some emails out shortly. Oleander white bush, £17.99. That is already busy. You love it. Should we look at the apple next? Right, let's do it.
So you see this apple in front of me. I'm about 5'8". I'm not the tallest guy in the world, but so this will give you an idea of how big the tree's going to come out to. This isn't a grown-on version of what we're sending out. This is what we're sending out. We're sending out Braeburn apples this size.
£18.69.
Yeah,
£18.
Yeah. In a club price, £18.69. Just phenomenal, really. Really gorgeous, healthy foliage on these, multi-branch, and it's the Braeburn apple. Now, Braeburn are gorgeous. They originated in New Zealand, and Braeburn have got those super crisp, crunchy fruit, really, really sweet, sometimes just with that little kind of sour tang to them as well, that just gets you behind the back of the ears. But they're never woolly, they're never soft, they're always full of juice. And when you grow your own apples, which you can with these, and you pick them at that perfect moment, goodness me, until you've eaten an apple at that point, you never realise just how stunningly gorgeous apples can taste. This is a hardy tree. It will come back for you year after year. It's been grafted as well, so that actually means that this tree will never get too tall. It's only going to get to about a couple of 2 or 3 metres tall maximum, so always easy to look after. No need for ladders and things like that to pick the fruit. You can store the fruit as well if you want to. You can store it wrapped in individual fruit, wrapped in paper, in a nice sort of cool, dark place, or you can store the apples in the fridge for a few weeks. From next year, you will get fruit on this, but you'll get proper size fruit. Although it's a smaller tree, you don't get smaller fruit, you get proper size.
Oh, really?
Yeah, super sweet, juicy, bursting with vitamins, gorgeous, crunchy apples.
And so organic, isn't it? And
you can make it organic, yeah.
It's the experience of walking outside, just picking those fresh apples. Or going to be apple pie you're going to make from this? Who knows? Do you know what, Braeburns, there's something about them. The ones I actually do buy in the supermarket, I love them. I love a Gala, don't get me wrong, but Braeburn, it's an all-rounder.
It is.
You know, it's not too sweet, it's not too... There's something about them. It's one of the most popular varieties I was reading. I couldn't sleep last night, so I was researching what's the most famous popular apples. Braeburn was up there. Honestly, I am a laugh. But I just talked to people about apples. Honestly, I'm great in a pub. It's 300-0831. We've had emails. Yeah, saving £18, by the way. So, yeah, well done if you got that. We've had so many emails come in. Bex is watching. Hi, Bex. He just wanted to say hi. Hope you got the aircon on in the potting shed.
We have.
It's another scorcher today. Absolutely right. It's on full blast. Bex, thanks. And we were sporting the shorts today as well. But thanks to Bex there. Hope you're going to be good. We've got some amazing pictures we'll get ready to show you, actually. Do you know what? We'll get them ready. They look stunning. Right, so, yeah, there's the Braeburn tree. And the fact it arrives like that is just brilliant. £18.69. Right, we've got the pots on the show too.
Yeah, we have, Charlie. They're just behind you down there, the heavy juicy pots. So we've got four.
The 30 litres.
Yeah. Let's just whack those up in the middle there, because we've got 4 of these, and these are incredible. These are our sort of 30-litre pots. These are our pots that you've loved for years and years and years. These are our updated version as well. Now, what we've done with these, we've increased the drainage for you. So you've got the traditional.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's some serious drainage.
It is.
There.
So you've got the traditional drainage holes in the side, but also we've got those kind of raised furrows, if you like, at the base of the pot, and they also have drainage holes running down the side of those as well. The reason we've done that is because this apple tree, for example, I mean, let's just plonk it in
That's
here.
The best drainage holes I've honestly seen in a pot, seriously.
Which is just good. And also, I mean, these handles, watch my knuckles turn white. I'm really giving this pot some serious stretching.
Put me on edge.
Those handles are not coming off, and these pots, I mean, I've said you can actually build up your pec muscles with these, because you try and squeeze these pots, you're trying to misshape them, you can't. These are rigid, these are strong, these are UV stable, you're not going to crack or break these. But the thing is, if you're going to put an apple... I was
going to say, you could put fruit trees in here.
Yeah, so say you're going to keep this in here.
Sweet peas, perhaps?
Can't see us now, can you?
Yeah.
Behind the tree. What that means is you're probably not going to move that pot anytime soon. So it's great to have that double drainage, because sometimes you have one set of holes blocks up, you've got the other set of holes on this to ensure that drainage. But now, because those drainage holes are raised up off the ground in those kind of indented channels at the base...
You don't need pot feet then?
No, you're going to get that drainage. And that's really, really important, because... I mean, in the summertime, sometimes you don't want a lot of drainage, do you? Because when it's dry like this, you want to retain the moisture. But of course, in the wintertime, the last thing you want is your plants sitting in pots that are waterlogged. But these...
Or if it's really, really rainy, you don't want them to get saturated and waterlogged there.
Because then the roots rot and the plant dies, it suffers. But so many uses. I've got Sean, there's got tomatoes in his. You can use them putting your garden tools in, walking around the garden. You could use them for deadheading. You could use them for weeding. We use these at work when we're mulching between plants. We did a job last week, big planting job for some lovely friends of ours. What we're going to do in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to go back and we're going to put gravel all in between the plants.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, but what
I do love my aggregates. If you think I'm a bit over the top with apples, talk to you about aggregates. I love them. Again, I am a laugh.
I can just imagine you in a pub with your mates talking aggregates.
Well, if I'm not talking about aggregates, I'm moaning about my poor drainage holes in my pot. But not this one. That's seriously, I'm really impressed by that. It's good. But you know what? So, yeah, for planting, for actual maintenance, even... I know, in the winter time, you're going to use them to bring logs into your house.
Yeah,
they're always going to be so handy. So 4 30-litre pots there for £16.99. You're going to find so much use for them. So yeah, 130011. We often have them on the show because they're just so popular. Right there, we've also got the pineapple guava on the show too. This is really. Shall I move these out of the way?
Yeah, you can do. We'll just leave one there as an example. But yeah, these are beautiful, Charlie. These pineapple guavas, because if you're looking for a plant that is really, really drought tolerant, if you're looking for a plant for a coastal garden, a plant that will put up with windy conditions, a plant that's evergreen, that has the most beautiful, beautiful flowers, and you know what, in a summer like ours, if it keeps going, these can even produce kind of elongated, like green sausage-shaped fruit that are actually edible, apparently.
Well, really?
Yeah. Sort
of tried one?
I've not tried one, I'm upfront about that. If you have, if you're watching, if you grow an acker and you've got the fruit to ripen, you've tasted one, let us know. Tell us what they taste like. I mean, I'm kind of guessing they taste a bit like a pineapple and a guava combined.
Yeah.
Because we always introduce this plant, we always say it's not a pineapple and it's not a guava.
It's a hybrid.
But apparently the fruit tastes like that.
It's similar, yeah.
But this is the plant we're sending out. This is the exact sort of quality of the plant going out to you. And you're going to get these lovely glossy leaves all the year through summer, through autumn, through winter. It's a good coastal plant, as I say. I went to the Isle of Wight 2 or 3 years back. I think it was 2022, and we had that really dry summer. And there were some beautiful gardens there. But it was a bit of a sad sight because everything had gone brown. Everything was wilting.
Really? Right.
Apart from these. These were happy as Larry, looking beautiful. And they have the most incredible, unusual flowers. I mean, these flowers are just so different, tropical, exotic. I haven't seen
anything like that, you know.
Really, really, really strange looking flowers. They've been flowering already. They're going to keep flowering throughout the summer for you. This is quite hardy as well. I would say in a very cold area, give it some protection, but generally they get through kind of most winters in most parts of the UK. Look at this, it's like something from Avatar, this. I mean,
yeah, it is, isn't it?
Goodness me, it's the sort of flower you'd expect to see if you landed on a planet you'd never been to. And here's the fruit, here's the pineapple guava fruit. So if you harvested one of these, if you tried one, tell us what your experience was. We'd like to know.
I'd love to try that. I'd try anything. But that seriously, that flower, it's unusual. It's going to be an absolute focal point.
Do you know what that flower reminds me of, Charlie? You know when you see a slow-mo of like a water droplet dropping into a pond?
Yeah.
And then you see the water drops splashing outwards.
Yes, I know what you mean.
That's what that flower kind of reminds me of. It's kind of got that kind of look to it.
It does, doesn't it? There's something quite abstract about this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, YGTV2525, make sure you type that code in because you can have this delivered. No charge for your post and packaging. All you pay is £15.29. That is fantastic. And this has already got instant interest into your garden. So, there's nothing like it, is there? You know when you get something back or you look forward to planting, you just want to visualise what it's going to look in your garden, but place it in there and look forward to that transformation. So, yeah, any more questions, keep them coming through, folks. We've got lovely emails, actually. On YouTube, we've had a question come in. Let me just go back. I'm getting quick at this, but hang on, bear with.
You're better than me, that's for sure. I'm hopeless on those things.
I buried it in compost earlier. I hope you didn't see that. But Kyle says, can you keep the pineapple guava trimmed back, as mine is getting a little big and hanging over? I do have parts tied up.
Yeah, you could trim. If you're going to trim it back now, and then all the new growth that comes back, that will give you flowering wood for next year, and also it'll give it enough time to harvest harden off and toughen up before the winter time.
Well, there we
But
go.
don't do it on one of the hot days though. Just do it on a cooler, cloudier day, not a hot, sunny day like we had yesterday.
Right, good knowledge. I like it. Carl, thanks very much. Brilliant question. I'm sure lots of other people are thinking that too. But yeah, any more questions? Keep them coming through. Do you know what? Let's recap some items for you. We've been here for 1 hour or so already. It flies by. We're here till about 12:30, so we've got lots more to go through. Bits we haven't seen yet. The Hardy Fan Palm. Right now, this is just. This is my top 3. I love palms. Part of the reason I wanted the house I live in because it had a big palm in the garden. I love them. Honestly, it just makes you feel like you've got a holiday at home. These are so easy to look after. I think one of the easiest ones to have there. When they're established, they can be quite drought tolerant too, but the different soils, these aren't fussy. They just look stunning all year round. Do you know what? Some palms, they grow outwards so quickly, and some get so tall, you're left with the trunk, but you know, and the details, the leaves on the top. But this, you've got interest for the entire height of this palm. It's always so intriguing. I love architectural plants. There's something about it that's striking. It just adds so much drama into your gardens. For £25.49, honestly, I'm always living in garden centres. I'm always shopping around. I love my palms. That is just a brilliant price. I honestly think the recommended retail price, £34.99, I wouldn't bat an eyelid at that. I think fair enough. I still think, yeah, that's bang on. But for £25.49 is so good. If you're going for that, let us know. You can put it in a big pot if you want to put it in beds. We've also got the hydrangea. If you have just joined us, Adam was talking to us about this, and we do love it. There's something about this one. You know, some hydrangeas can get a bit over the top, but this one can stay quite contained actually, so great for your pots and your borders. For £12.74, this is quite magical, as the name says. You know, it's that white against the foliage. It's always going to have that classy, elegant look. It's 511615. Right now, the Brescian purple is, this gives a Mediterranean vibe to me, actually. It's got that look, it reminds me. But the way it does grow, you know, fairly tall. It's the one you're going to get is going to be around, well, I'd say about 40 centimetres-ish. But for £15.27, you get 3 9-centimetre pots. They're beautiful foliage. It's almost like a fern-like kind of foliage. It does remind me of that kind of look, a little bit of exotic look. But the flowers, they're so pretty. They're so whimsical. I can't get enough of these. And the way they just sway in the wind, in the lovely summer breeze, is just gorgeous. They're so sweet, these. They really are. But I'd have these in the middle of the borders, maybe towards the back, depending if you've got some lower down bits. But for £17.97 is a really good deal. Again, take your money off if you're a club member too. Right, yeah, 561 523 or 253. By the way, if you forget the item numbers, don't worry about it. If you just go to YouGarden.com, just click the live button on the top right-hand corner, and then scroll down, you see all of these amazing deals we've got on this live show. We're here every single Sunday morning, every single Thursday morning. Right now, the Himalayan blue. Do you know, Adam and I, we're talking about the blue here. It's like a little bit of a powdery kind of blue we got here. And with that amber yellow stamen in the middle, it's just a sight to behold. They do get quite big, these, but it's that sense of texture I can't stop looking at in these petals. It's a crepe-like paper kind of look and appearance to them. But people love poppies, obviously they're very symbolic, aren't they? But I honestly haven't come across many of this particular colour. I really don't often see them. For £11.04, 3 jumbo plugs with a really good solid root system there. You'd expect nothing less from YouGarden. But for again, the £11.04 is just brilliant. YGTV 2525. Add that code in, whether you're a club member or not. Type in that code before you check out, and it's free postage and packaging. So 480678. And that is the same code for all of these deals, whether it's the pots, whether it's I don't know, the Oleanders, whether you're going for the Weigela, whether you're going for some compost, the plant food, yeah, or the Pineberry actually. Now these are so extraordinary. They the colouring just looks fantastic. I won't lie, I've never tried one, but I really want to. If you're serving these up, if you've got family, friends come around, barbecues and so on, you can get a decent yield from these too. But if you're gonna serve them just to dress a plate of your own red strawberries. Just added interest. You know, people say we eat with our eyes, don't we? It's all about the visual aspect as well as what they taste like. But I heard these are delicious. But I'm just fascinated by this. It's 320015. Put them in your wall planters here, your pots, put them in hanging baskets, your beds, wherever you're going to have them. They're going to have lots and lots of visual interest as well as a beautiful appetite. £11.02. Okay, now, oh yes, we've got this. This is the Nepalese Flame, for £18.67. It's a bargain. Well done if you've got this one already. Do start checking out your baskets, folks, because if you've got this one in there, well, you're about to save £8. We don't know how long we can do these deals. They may be for just today. We hope we can bring some back at a later stage, but it does depend on stock levels, okay? We get through so much stock here. For £18.67, this is so much interest. They can get fairly tall, these actually. But if you want that burst of energy, that fiery red, I love reds in gardens, especially when it gets, you know, those chilly evenings. It just adds that sense of warmth to your home. So 561339. Right, the Vintage Love. This was the first plant we probably had a look at just after 9:30 this morning. You've been absolutely loving this. Now, what I call vintage, well, don't you think that pink has got that classic, traditional, vintage warming look? I really, really love this, I do. Do you know what? Yes, the flowers are gorgeous, but the foliage, they're like curled slightly. They've got so much character. They're a little bit bumpy. The veining is just quite pronounced here. But the green, you've got some paler greens and they just sort of blend in to a darker, rich green on each leaf. They're just fantastic. So for £14.99, I would run for this one. This is probably going to be in my top 3 there. The plants we got on the show too, I think that would look gorgeous in there. But if you've got like a traditional, maybe even a rustic terracotta pot here, anything like that, anything, if you've got like an old warm pot, that's going to be so perfect. It's going to match that really, really well. It's going to match the name vintage. So yeah, £12.74. Okay, do you like oleanders? Are you looking for an oleander? Well, we've got lots of comments from Facebook. People clearly love them. Well, with oleanders, I love the shape of the leaves. There's something so exotic looking about them. But when this one flowers, well, I mean, the one we've got in the studio, which is representative of what you're going to be getting home, don't forget that, they're already quite established. They're up to about 60 centimetres tall already in a 15 centimetre pot. But the flowers are beautiful. They're really big, actually, for oleander. I think they can vary from different varieties, but this one, it's really packs a punch. It's £15.29. I just don't think you can go wrong. Yes, it's good to have a multitude of colour, I think, but a crisp white with a beautiful deep green leaf, you can't go wrong with this. From an aesthetic point of view, from a colour point of view, it's going to be effortless to fit in your garden. So 680058, the Oleander Bush White. It's beautiful. You might get 2 of these. I think oleanders look great in pairs, personally. If you're going to have them framing an entrance to a doorway, or maybe got a garden path, you know, just you know, but round the steps, you know, just as a little entranceway into a different section of your garden. A pair of them in matching planters is going to be lovely. Now, it won't be a show without a classic rose. Now, this is the Fresca. These get so big. Now you're saving £10 here, but just have a look. You get really big blooms, and they can vary the size of the blooms you get for roses. These are massive. They're like globes of colour you've got here. But just, people always love roses. Love a rose. They stop and they take a moment. But this one, you can't take your eye off it. The layers and layers and layers of all those rich petals just grab your eye, they do. So for £16.99, it's, yeah, a bargain, an absolute bargain. Recommended retail price about £29.99. You're not paying anything anywhere near that. If you're in the club, it's not far off half price, really. So it's 530993. Again, whilst we've got the stock here too. Right. If you are looking for a compost, which is unlike any other that I've personally come across. And this is the professional premium compost here. You get 100 litres, that's 250 litre bags. It's got a wetting agent in there to help retain the moisture and to evenly disperse the moisture. You've got about 50% composted wood fibres, and that's the big one for me. They give roots the space they need to flourish and have a really good established root system here. So if you want to give your plants a really good start, and who wouldn't want that? I know you're going to be wanting that. Who wouldn't? Well, it's worth the money. It really, really is. The difference this can make is stunning. So yeah, £21.23 at the club for 250 litre bags. This is nothing like that stuff you get in garden centres. As soon as you put your hand in the bag and lift them out, you'll know what I mean. You will. It's 100125. It's worth every single penny on this. Because yeah, we love to look at the plants, but if you want rich greenery, gorgeous, bright, vibrant colours, this is the one, folks. Right, well, how are we doing for time? We've got about an hour and 40 minutes left on the show. It goes too quickly here. Right, here's some ideas for you. If you've just joined us, maybe haven't watched YouGarden TV before. My name's Johnny, we're here with Adam. Things to remember. Type in that code because lots of people are about to check out the baskets. YGTV 2525. So do not check out without typing that in, because that gives you free postage and packaging on anything we got on the show here. Whether it's the pots, whether it's the Oleander, whether it's the Osteos, whether it's the Braeburn fruit tree, the apple tree. Oh, that's going to be gorgeous. Whatever you're buying, type in that code. But you can watch us every single week here on YouGarden TV, every single Thursday and Sunday morning. If you forget any item numbers, or if you want to shop ahead, because we've still got more, then click on that Live Now button. So as soon as you go to yougarden.com, you'll see the Live Now button. Click that and just do what we're doing here. Scroll down. There's that compost, that Blooming Fast superior soluble fertiliser. That works out to be about about 7 pence. Get that one right. About 7 pence per application. That can last you a long, long time. Right, the rose is a classic. We've got fruit trees here. The red robin tree, I think that's going in my basket. I think it is. I just love the red, because I've got some areas in my garden. I've got lots of evergreens. I need something a little bit more pops of colour. I need some red. I haven't got much red at the moment, but that's going to look beautiful. That's another one I'd want to buy in pairs. I'd have 2 matching pots, either side entrance to your garden. That's stately home vibes we've got for you. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? Just a little bit of an area like that can transform the look of a garden. It really, really can. I love it. It's a happy place, isn't it? That's why you're watching YouGarden TV. If you've got any more emails, then email us in. It's ygtv@yougarden.com. Or I've got the tablet right here, and just have a comment, or give us a comment on YouTube. Sure, we've got lots more to go through, but we are loving this club. You can save so much money, and there's lots of other benefits. Here's more for you.
If you love your garden as much as we love ours, then why not join the YouGarden Discount Club?
The club has been running for many years, and it's where thousands of our customers enjoy a whole host of benefits to ensure that they get the most out of their gardens for less.
Now is a great time to join the YouGarden Discount Club, as the benefits have just got even better. So what do you get when you join the club?
Firstly, our members will get bigger discount rates all year round. So you'll now receive 15% off our range of plants and accessories, and that's on top of any other discounts you might have.
For those bigger investments, such as garden furniture or lawnmowers, for example, you now get 7.5% discount on all of our outdoor living and machinery range.
In addition to the ongoing discounts, you'll also get more voucher value when you join or renew your club membership. We will send you 4 £5 product vouchers, which you can redeem throughout the year against the cost of your orders.
And as a new added benefit, you will now receive 2 free P&P vouchers, which can be redeemed against the cost of your shipping.
Club members get priority access to exclusive offers and brand new products at our best prices.
We'll keep you up to date with fantastic advice and top tips from our grown experts and professional gardeners to make sure that you get the most from your new purchases and existing plants. The best way to join the club is with our auto-renewal subscription. You'll pay £10 per year, then at the end of the year we will automatically renew your membership to ensure you retain all of your benefits. Plus, the price you pay when you join will never go up for as long as you remain a member, and that's a guarantee.
And remember, when you join the club, you will start saving from the very first order you make, as the discounts will be applied immediately. So with all that the YouGarden Discount Club has to offer, why not join us and start saving today?
We'd love to help you make the most of your garden for less with the YouGarden Discount Club.
John, we absolutely love that. It's so worth it. Normally it's £20 for the year for the auto renew, but at the moment it's £10 for the year. That's it. Obviously you can cancel any time you want, but that can pay for itself so very quickly. We're very proud to offer that, the YouGarden Discount Club. Right, before we recap some favourites, can I ask you a question? Ali's been in touch. Ali G.
Hi,
Ali G. Morning all. Can I ask Adam if he has any advice for bay trees? The leaves have gone brown. Any advice there?
I mean, some of the older leaves do drop off on bay trees this time of year because they're an evergreen. So if it's the lower leaves, it's the leaves in the middle, that's fine, don't worry about it. If it's happening kind of all over, it might need more water because although they're quite drought tolerant, you know, they do need to be kept hydrated, especially in this very, very dry weather. So kind of hopefully that's helpful. The other thing you could check, if it's in a pot or a container, just make sure you haven't got those ghastly little vine weevil things in there because they can get in and eat the root system of the plant and cause problems. So yeah, just investigate those few things.
Well, Ali, thank you very much. Hope that helps. And no, love it, love these ideas. Right, I adore this favourites table too. It's always a favourite. But you know what? With the first one we've got here, we've got the Breskin Purple here. Yeah,
these are amazing, Charlie. These are beautiful plants. Well, basically what we've got here, we've got 3 9-centimetre pots, but what we've got in reality is 2 litre sized plants in 9-centimetre sized pots. I mean, like you, I visit garden centres all the time, because I like to go and eat cake and stuff like that in the canteen. And
you can spend quite a lot of money easily on a cake there.
Yeah. And B, I like to see what plants they've got and how much they're selling them for. And you know, some garden centres will sell plants like this in a 2-litre pot, probably for anything up to sort of $9.99 each.
Yeah, so, I reckon so.
Yeah, the value is amazing on these. But also, when you take them out of the pot, you see the root system on our plants as well, because they've all been grown on. Look at that. I mean, that root system is, if I'll drop it down in front of that poppy, look, and you can see, look,
wow.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
It's impressive.
I mean, that is a seriously impressive root system going on there. And these are tough plants. These are Polemonium or Jacob's Ladder. They'll come back for you year after year after year. That picture there, we think it's just the way the camera does things. That makes them look blue, but they're not. They're actually a purple. They're actually a very, very purpley colour. But they get to they get to about sort of 18 inches to 24 foot tall. That's the flower spikes, by the way. They'll grow in full sun. They'll grow in part sun, part shade. They're not fussed about soils. They'll grow in clay soils, sandy soils. They're not even fussed about particularly rich soils either.
They're not fussy, are they?
No, they're not.
These aren't divas, these ones.
These are not divas. These are definitely not divas. These are bone hardy as well, Charlie. So
that's my next question. Is this a diva? Do I mean, is it hardy or not?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely hardy. This plant, it will come back for you year after year. The pollinated insects adore it as well. And you've just got these wonderful, gorgeous leaves as well. Sometimes these can go a bit of a bronzy colour for you. So basically, if you want a good doer, if you want to plant it, love it, leave it perennial, that's going to come back for you year after year, flower reliably, not need any attention, not going to be a diva.
No. We don't do divas here, do we?
No.
We don't like divas here. Who wants a diva in the house? But that is so... It's just the height there. There's something about it. The foliage grabbed my attention first, actually, because it does look a little bit fern-like, which I just love it. But yeah, those flowers, they're so pretty, a little bit ditzy, very prairie style-esque.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I can see that. I can see these in a prairie planting scheme. They've definitely got that feel to them.
They're so pretty. They're just... everyone's going to say, they're cute, aren't they? Right, £15.27. And they're not divas. It's 561253. Right, we've got poppies on the show too, the Himalayan blue poppy.
We have. And if you want to join our Bloppy Club, by the way, so basically our Bloppy Club is something we created last week. It's free membership.
So it's specific for blue.
Yeah, all you've got to do is get a Mecanopsis poppy to flower. If you've already got one flowering or you've made one flower, you're in the club. But these are easy. I mean, you can see the 3 little beautiful plants here. I'll lift one out for you because these are one of those kind of plants that you might see in a magazine or on a TV station, gardening show, and you think to yourself, I can never grow one of these. I can never, ever, ever get one of these to flower. You can. They're much, much easier than
people... Why do people struggle then, do you think?
I think it's just kind of one of those plants that certain people look at. I don't know, it's like that giant arum YouGarden thing. They get to flower at Kew Gardens or somewhere like that. You know,
okay.
People think, oh, you've got to have expert knowledge, you've got to have all this training and stuff. Now, I've got these, admittedly, I'm a professional gardener, but you don't need to be. I've got these flowering 2 years running. I know others of you have as well. And all you need to get these to flower, 3 things: grow them in acid soil, or if you haven't got that, grow them in ericaceous compost. Make sure they never dry out during the growing season. Don't make them wilt for 1 minute. And also grow them out of direct sunlight. A bright position, but no direct sunlight on them, and you will get them to flower. Now this year, they'll establish themselves. You'll get them home, you'll plant them up. These will actually produce more leaves for you. And the leaves kind of hug the ground. They form like a little rosette, and then some of them are a little bit more upright. Now, in the autumn, all these leaves will just diminish. They'll die away, and it'll look like you've just got a little dead stump in the middle, and you'll think, oh, told you I couldn't grow them. Don't worry about that. They'll sit like, yeah, don't get nervous, normal. As Jake said. They'll sit like that through the winter. Next spring, as the weather warms up, you'll start to see a lovely little shoot develop. You'll see the first new leaves start to come from the centre, and then you'll see a flower spike develop. Year 2, you'll get these to flower for you, and when they do, they flower in these most extraordinary blue colour. I mean,
there is an extraordinary colour, that.
Yeah, I mean, blue is rare enough in the plant kingdom as a flower colour, but the blue of Meconopsis poppies is unique, in my opinion. They are stunningly beautiful, easy to grow. Just follow those 3 steps, and whoever you are, you'll be able to join the Bloppy Club without any problem at all.
Can I be a member? I'm going to buy this. And I can
if you get them to flower, Charlie,
I'm feeling left out now.
You can join the Bloppy Club, no problem at all. Our Blue Poppy Club.
I'll get that on a T-shirt. There we go. £11 and 4 pence for 3 jumbo plugs. It's just such good value. YGTV 25.25. Tap that in before you check out, and you get free postage. Yeah, 4806. Yes, 480678. Okay, now the next we've got here. I haven't seen anything quite like this actually. This is a Pineberry.
Yeah, these are white strawberries, or very pale pink strawberries. But they are super sweet, they are delicious, they're packed with nutrition, vitamins and minerals, easy to grow. Grow them just like your normal strawberries. Grow them with your normal strawberries. Okay. Grow them in hanging baskets. Yeah, grow them in beds and borders. Grow them in pots.
It's a little bit different, isn't it?
It is.
I think.
If you want to, I mean, they're almost a little bit more round than a normal strawberry as well, and slightly smaller. But in every other respect, grow them just like normal strawberries. Nice sunny position, organic, rich soil. Keep them nice and moist. Good thing about these ones as well, the birds don't eat them because the birds fly by and think, oh, they're not ripe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they leave them alone.
Bless them.
Yeah, because they like nice red fruit, don't they? If they see a nice red strawberry, they're down there. They're kind of, you know, getting their beak in and like enjoying that beautiful red strawberry. These, they'll think, oh no, I'll come back another day.
So how do we know when they're ready? I suppose when they just pull away easily.
That is one way. I mean, what our viewers have quite often said, they've just done a taste test.
Right, so, yeah, why not?
Sometimes if you smell the fruit, if it's got that sweet kind of strawberry sort of fragrance to it, you know the fruit's ripe. Or as Charlie said, if it comes away from that receptacle bit. Yeah. But yeah, tough, hardy as well. Come back for you year after year. No problem at all there. Easy to grow. These are the plants you're going to get. So these are fantastic plants in 9 centimetre size pots. I'll whip this one out the pot because brilliant root system as always. I know you can see the lovely root system we have on all our plants. Look at that. Really good fibrous root system there. The only thing I would say to you is in the first year, you see these runners, cut them off. Just cut them right off where they come away from the plant there, because what you want in the first year, you don't want it to concentrate on making new plants. You want it to concentrate on establishing itself. So do that. And I would not be surprised at all if you get a small crop in your first year this year. Already? But they'll get established this year. This year, think about roots and shoots, and then 2026, think about roots, shoots, and fruits.
Yes. Oh, I like it. Do you know what? I know lots of people with strawberries, but I don't know anyone that's got this. I've never seen anyone with that. So
nor have I.
Well, why not have that idea? My parents, they're growing strawberries. I'm going to get them something for that. Just, I can imagine this in the middle between the others, just to add a little bit of more interest. But that is going to be special to have at home.
Buy them for your parents, Charlie, but don't tell them they're white strawberries. Wait until they fruit, and then see their reaction.
They're not ripening.
Yeah. Well, I've got something to tell you about those.
Yeah, and it's a good talking point as well, I think.
Yeah.
Way better than half price price. Recommended retail price, £29.97. It's £11.02. It's delivered for that price. So yeah, 320015. Now the Nepalese Flame, this one of the most striking ones we've got.
These are seriously unusual plants. Now these are late summer, right into autumn plants. They've got lovely furry foliage. I love the nice soft leaves, almost kind of like sort of cat's ears kind of feel to the actual foliage on these. Really gorgeous. These give you these fabulous spikes of deep flame red flowers, loved by the pollinating insects, and these plants can get from like a metre to up to sort of 3 metres tall. What they like is a really sunny, well-drained, sheltered position. They're reasonably hardy, and providing you can keep them in that position where it's well-drained and sheltered, you can get these to go from 1 year to another. Just glorious. When other plants are starting to kind of give up the ghost a little bit, these come to the fore, and they're really good plants to grow with things like cannas, salvia amistad, for example, dahlias, chrysanthemums, the asters, all those kind of late summering plants. If you want to keep that summer colour going, if you want something dramatic and gorgeous to lift your mood on those autumn days, grow these. There's 3 stunning plants here. They're in 9 centimetre pots.
That is a big reason people buy something like this, is just to lift that mood in autumn. And those rain, even those chillier evenings towards the end of the summer, that's going to keep radiating.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it, Charlie? It's good to sort of keep the joy going, and especially these lovely colours. Or if you've got what's called a hot garden or hot beds and borders, you plant one of those borders with the oranges and the yellows and the reds.
It's going to complement that.
Try these, you'll love them. These will knock your socks off. They really will.
It's amazing. And just the addition of this into your garden can just transform the whole look of it, can't it? Just for £18.67. Where are you going to place this? Have you got an idea for your garden? Is it those pots you've been saving? Have you been saving some space for that special one? Well, do it with the Nepalese Flame. I love the name. It sounds impressive. It's a 561339. The next one we've got, I think this is really cute, this. This is so much character, the Weigela, the vintage rose. Sorry, vintage love.
Yeah.
This is so special.
I'm feeling the love for this, and I know you're feeling the love for this as well, because you've really sort of taken to this plant. And it doesn't surprise me, because Weigelas back in the sort of 70s and 80s, when I was kind of a nipper, kind of were really great big tall gangly scruffy kind of shrubs. They were pretty, but they took up a lot of space. This one only about 60 to 80 centimetres tall.
Right, so it's easy to contain.
Really nice and compact. You can grow it in a container. You can grow it in your beds and borders if you want to. Bone hardy, by the way. It'll get through the winter, no problem at all. But what Charlie's shown you beautifully there is look at the contrast between these exquisite flowers and that dark foliage. You've got the bronzy colours there, the coppery colours, and then,
magnificent.
That is happiness, isn't it? That is happiness in a pot. You can see the little yellow runway there calling the bees in to pollinate these flowers. And what is particularly good about these is the outside of the flower has got that red coating. And then on the inside, they're pure white with that lovely yellow runway. You can see the stamens there, their little stigma and style in the middle. And that glistening almost on the actual petals there.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
It's got a lovely, compact, well-behaved growth habit. It'll flower for a good few weeks. As I say, it's not going to worry about the frost or the snow in the winter time. It keeps its foliage up until the autumn. Then you get nice autumn-coloured foliage colours.
Right.
But year on year, it will gradually get bigger, but say no more than about 60 to 80 centimetres. So if you want something different, unusual, and you want a plant that's got those incredible contrasts between flower colour and foliage colour, go for the Weigela Florida Vintage Love. We love it, you'll love it.
You're right, even the foliage has so much character to it. They're curved slightly. It's beautiful. The pink is just so lovely. It's very nostalgic for people, this. £12.74. This has got to get in your garden. It's a 511643. It's in my top 3 that I absolutely love it. Joe, if you're wondering the best thing how to plant these, well, lots of the deals on the show. We've got a compost that's such a good all-rounder. We call it professional compost because professional growers love this. Here's our Peter to tell you more.
We describe this as premium professional compost. And the reason for that is it is the compost that is known, this formula we have perfected over decades. So I've been using it for decades. We have perfected it over decades. You've got a blend of the best peats plus wood fibre that you can imagine. Now, by volume, approximately 50% of this compost is wood fibre, and the balance is made up of a blend of peats, and there are 3 different peats. So you've got things like sphagnum moss peat, which is renewable. You've got sedge peat, and then you've got darker sphagnum as well in there. So you've got 3 different peats. You've also got, you can see actually just there, there's slow-release fertiliser. These little green, what look like little eggs, you'll see those dotted among the compost when you're planting it. That's slow-release fertiliser. One of the most expensive ingredients in any compost is fertiliser. You can see that there's another one just down below. That is amazing because that will deploy nutrients to the roots of whatever you grow in this compost just when they need it over the next 6 months. You then got what's called a buffer. Now, peat in particular is naturally acidic. And plants like to be just on the acidic side of neutral as a generality. There are exceptions, so things like rhododendrons and azaleas, they love to be properly acidic in terms of the ericaceous soil or compost they're growing in. But most things like it just on the slightly acidic edge of neutral. So that's what this is designed to give you. So it's got a pH buffer to keep it in exactly that zone. The wood fibre keeps the sort of perfect air-water porosity ratio, which is what we talk about in the trade, all these complicated terms. But it's, what plants need is they need a jungle gym to grow in. So they need a jungle gym for their roots, which is called growing medium. They need some water, and they need some air, and they need nutrients. And when you've got the perfect compost, it blends the air and the water and the constituents of the compost. It all blends together to give the perfect environment. That's what this particular compost does, which is why it's trusted by us. We will be growing approximately 150,000 potted roses on this nursery this year. That's roughly what we grow most years. We'll be growing, I don't know how many hanging baskets, but our pre-planted hanging baskets that will be available later, you will have bought them in the autumn and last spring as well. They grow in this compost. We will grow countless perennials, whether they be in the 9 centimetre square pots or the 3 litre pots or the 5 litre pots, plus fruit trees. And this is the compost we use for all of those things. So we trust it, the trade trusts it, and actually based upon well, literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of bags of this particular compost that you've bought over the years, you definitely trust it as well. And, you know, and actually, peat is a thing. We need to think about peat. Not me. I happen to also be peat, but it's the peat that's in here that we're talking about. We can still use peat in our gardens right now, and actually the alternatives, generally speaking, are a bit iffy. So if you want to get the best results, in my view, use this particular compost for as long as you can. It's got 50% other material in it, which is the lowest level we could get to and still have a professional quality product for you and for ourselves. So we've been as eco-friendly as we can, and we jumped onto that particular that approach years and years and years ago. So this is the same formulation that we've had for at least the last 6 or 7 years, with 50% other material to bulk out the peat, and it still works better. So I would say this is, in my opinion, it's the only compost I use at home. It's the compost we use on the nursery. I can't recommend it highly enough. Yeah.
Oh, so I'm not kidding. As soon as you hold that for the first time, you know you got something really different and unique there. It's going to do your plants such a world of good. Because if we are spending time, you know, gardening on compost, let's get a good one. Let's get something that people swear by. They love it, you know. It's important. Right, OK, well, talk about what plants are going to love that. We've got lots more to go through. How about the Petite Jenny here?
These are amazing, aren't they? We
saw this was last week, and I know they're very, very popular indeed. There's the actual flowering. They're so unique here, I think. They're so special. I haven't seen anything quite like this.
I like the way you describe them as candy floss pink, and they are kind of like a candy floss sort of pink colour, which is amazing on those. Candy floss pink, bubblegum pink, if you like, as well. These are a type of Lychnis. Now, there's a native one that grows in the UK called Lychnis flosscuculi, ragged robin, and these are like a double version of it. And that native one grows in kind of meadows, sort of a damp sort of meadow areas. It will grow by streams. Right. It will grow in sort of boggy, kind of quite wet areas. So if this one will grow in those sort of areas, but it will grow in slightly sort of drier spots as well. It doesn't mind dappled shade, part sun, part shade. Will suit it very well. It's bone hardy, by the way. despite those delicate-looking flowers, it will come back for you year after year.
Wow.
You can grow it in pots, tubs, containers, grow it in beds and borders, even grow it in your lawn. Perhaps you've got a sort of a lawn area and you kind of let it go a little bit wild. You've got other wild flowers growing in your lawn.
Yeah, it's got that wildflower looking appearance, actually.
It's got that feel to it. So you could grow these. I mean, this isn't strictly a wildflower type, this variety, but or an indigenous one, but you could certainly use it in that kind of scheme. It
gives that vibe, yeah.
But look at those, Charlie. Look at those beautiful flowers just swaying there in the breeze. They've got those nice rigid stems that support the flowers for you. And these flower for ages. They flower for a good sort of 4, 5, sort of 6 weeks all in all. If you deadhead the main flower spike after it's finished flowering, by which I mean when all the flowers have gone on one stem, trim that stem down to the first set of leaves, and then you get little side shoots like here that are going to like keep flowering for you. In fact, there's even more
we've got
little
more here. How much?
Yeah, even right down the base here. Look, these are still sending out little flower spikes for you.
The summer then.
Yeah, they keep flowering on and off for quite a good amount of time for you. But they are just so beautiful. They've got those soft pink flowers. They're kind of super double flowers there. Lots of them. I love the way they kind of just flutter in the breeze.
Do you know, the petals, they're so light, I can barely feel them when I stroke them. They just give them this gorgeous flutter when they blow in that wind and that breeze. I can just imagine sat in the garden with a cup of tea in the morning and just look at these swaying. What a lovely thing to wake up to. There's something so charming about this, and it's the swaying I love, but that candy floss pink, it's not like a hot pink, which I do like. This is a little bit more subtle than that.
Yes, it's gentle pink, isn't it?
Gentle, it's classy,
yeah,
isn't it?
Classy is the word for it, definitely. Yeah, it's not a shocking pink.
No, I mean, they're good fun, but this is it's just going to effortlessly fit in, isn't it there? Well, you're saving £12. Well, then if you're going for this one too. So it's £15.28. So that's 561,335. Right, now we've got the Daphne. I know lots of people have been waiting for this next one because, we've got a lot of people buying all sorts today. Well done. Right, this is a gorgeous plant.
Yeah, this is Daphne Rogowski, and Daphnes are good for lots of reasons. Firstly, they're evergreen. So all the year through, you've got this beautiful, beautiful foliage, this super glossy foliage. And
traditional looking foliage, I think, actually.
Yeah, and especially nice around Christmas time and sort of times like that when the gardens can look really miserable and dull. If you've got a plant like this with these super glossy leaves, I'll lean them forward for you a bit there. You can just sort of see the lustre and sheen on those leaves there, which is really,
like a
really nice.
bay leaf kind of look and
appearance. Yeah, it is a
I
bit
think.
bay leaf as well. And if you look on the edge of the leaves, you can just about see a little bit of a sort of a variegated margin on the edge of the leaves. So that will get more pronounced as the shrub actually matures. But what this does do, and you can see
like
there.
That.
Look at that. So
it's like the leaves are framed.
That is just exactly it. They're framed by that lovely margin in that kind of yellowy coloured margin. But what you will get on this is late winter into very, very early spring, the most amazing, sumptuous, delicious, sweet smelling blossom. Oh my goodness me. These smell divine. I mean, it's such
like
a
perfume.
Honestly, Charlie, it's sweet, it's spicy, it's aromatic on a kind of a mild winter's day or a kind of a slightly warm early spring day. The aroma, the gorgeous fragrance of these flowers kind of wafts up into the air. It lifts your mood, and they're kind of one of those earliest shrubs to flower in the year. But they're bone hardy, by the way.
Fantastic.
Yeah, okay. I've got a similar one to this. And it flowers its socks off every year, slow growing as well, only will get to about 60, 70, 80 centimetres tall eventually, grow in part sun, part shade, well drained, moisture retentive soil. But just to recap, bone hardy, evergreen, variegated foliage, gorgeous pink flowers, fragrance, no pruning, disease resistant. It's awesome. It's beautiful.
Honestly, it really is. I do love that one, And how big does that get? Would you put that in like big pots?
I mean, that's only going to get to about 80 centimetres to perhaps one.
So it's got a presence, but it's not going to take over.
No, it's not going to go berserk. That one. It's quite a nice compact one, and they're slow growing anyway. Daphnes, they don't zoom away.
No, I do like that. You know, for £15.29, maybe you haven't got much evergreen in your garden. Maybe you want some interest all year round. But yeah, when they establish that beautiful colouring around the edge of the leaf, that gives it the distinctive property, doesn't it? You know straight away that's going to be a Daphne. So yeah, 511665. Right, we've got lots more coming. Right, the next. Oh, this is one of the first plants I looked at YouGarden actually, the bottle brush. I'm going to get that just to commemorate my first show. But there's something so special about that.
Yeah, I mean, this is an Australian plant and it has these really unusual kind of flowers.
It's so special.
When you get the full cluster, they actually resemble like a bottle brush, kind of hence the name. And then when the flowers go over, you end up with these kind of little seed pods that go up the stem, and they're really, really kind of weird plants, these, because normally, I mean, this plant next to me, if I just bring this one, yeah, as you can see here, you've got those sort of bottle brush flowers, which, I mean, traditionally, that's what people would use, wouldn't they? They'll have like a little wire handle on, you push them into bottles and stuff, and have a good swish round and sort of clean bottles out. Loved by the pollinating insects, and these are plants for full sun, really well-drained soils. They grow in incredibly poor soils as well, these. Gravelly, stony, gritty, denuded kind of soils, as long as they've got that full sun and drainage.
They're not spiky, are they?
The foliage is rigid, the foliage, because where they grow, they're subjected to very high UV and drying kind of winds and temperatures.
So, yeah, Australian, like I say.
Yeah, so those leaves are very, very drought-tolerant, super sun tolerant. Now, this plant will go down just a little bit below freezing. So in milder parts of the UK, Dorset, down that part of the world, you know, Devon, Cornwall, parts of Wales,
beautiful part.
Inner city areas, you could probably get away with getting this to go through most winters in a nice sheltered, sunny, well-drained position. If you're in a colder area, grow it in a pot or a container and then just protect it from the worst of the cold.
Yeah.
Keep it somewhere bright, reduce the watering. But even if it only went down to 2 or 3 degrees, that would be fine, as long as we don't get down to those -3s and 4s. But it does an extraordinary thing, because these flowers next to me, which we're going to talk about in a moment, these Viallias, well, once these finish flowering, that flower stem, that's gone, that's finished. But this does a weird thing, because what this does, once the flower's finished, then it starts to grow again from the top
so unusual,
of the old flower. I mean,
the flowers are halfway down the stem. It's so strange.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get a daffodil, do you? You don't see a daffodil flower and then another stem comes out the top of the daffodil, and that will be But these do that. So they've got that really unusual habit, but beautiful evergreen foliage, drought tolerance, gorgeous flowers. These just fabulous for that open, sunny, well-drained position. And sometimes, I'm not sure of this one, we'll test it out. Sometimes they even have fragrant or aromatic. Yeah, actually, if I give you a rip leaf on that, Charlie, you can. It's got a bit of a kind of a menthol.
Oh wow! Yeah, like a florally menthol
sort of fragrance.
I had no idea that had a scent.
Yeah, I discovered that by accident myself, because years ago I was actually pruning one of these for somebody in a customer's garden, and I thought, wow, what's that gorgeous fragrance? And I realised it was the oils coming out of the foliage. So yeah, so again, just to recap on this: evergreen, lovely kind of smelling foliage, fabulous flowers, loved by the pollinating insects, grow in a well-drained, sunny position. And a real stunner, this.
It really is. Because I'm looking for something I've got in my garden on these beds. I want something really unusual, just to really break up. There's a focal point I've been saving a plant for. That I think this is going to be the one. I do think so. For £16.99, to add something so extraordinary and just an absolute talking point, then go for it. It's a statement piece, the bottle brush. Well, it's 510046. By the way, we've had a question come in about hydrangea. This is for Gillian. Gillian, no, don't worry, you didn't miss the answer. We were going to ask it. Oh, it's up here. Bear with. Right. Gillian's got a hydrangea, but the leaves have started to crisp in the sun. Any idea there?
Yeah. Move it into the. If it's in a pot, definitely move it into the shade at the moment. I think this is happening with a lot of plants this year. The extreme temperatures we're having, the high UV,
and early on as well.
Yeah, and early on, and it's catching some plants out, especially when you first get them home and you put them out initially. It's like a bit of a transplant shock thing. So those leaves will kind of probably turn yellow and drop off eventually. The new leaves will acclimatise, but temporarily, if you can just put it into a shady area, that would be good.
Right.
If it's already in the ground, perhaps during the when we get these really hot days, perhaps put some horticultural fleece over the top of it, or an old net curtain, or just something to just screen it a little bit from the really intense sunshine.
Yeah, Gillian said you've moved it to a shadier spot. Should I cut off the damaged leaves?
No, I wouldn't worry. They'll probably drop off on their own anyway, but make sure it's really, really nicely hydrated, and hopefully the new leaves that come through, they'll kind of be a bit more climatised to the conditions, and it should be fine.
I get you. Brilliant question. Thank you so much to Gillian. And any more, keep them coming through, guys. And right, okay, we've got the red hot poker there.
We have, and we've got some extremes
I've never
actually.
seen this one.
Because we were just talking about the bottle brush here, full sun, bone dry soil, it'll cope in those conditions. These are the opposite end of the scale. These absolutely and totally adore moisture. Never ever let these dry out.
Okay.
They really hate dry soil. They want to be permanently moist.
So are you talking like daily there, you think, or not like or every other day in terms of watering? When we say regular watering...
If you're going to grow these in a pot or a container, make sure the compost is permanently moist.
Right, okay.
Even wet is fine. That would be absolutely fine. These flower for you pretty much all the way through the summer. They're a type of primula. In the winter, they kind of die down a little bit, but they'll sit quietly through the winter. Next spring, they come back and they'll give you these explosion of almost like orchid-like flowers on here. These are just so pretty. The flowers start to open at the base. You can see why they called them the red hot poker, because they've got that kind of look to them. Gradually the flowers open all the way to the top of the flower stem. The lacewings, the bees, the hoverflies, they're all going to adore these. They're going to love the pollen and nectar on these. Unusual, different, only get to about 12 to 15 centimetres tall. Inches tall, so a nice compact plant, really good for bog gardens, really good for marginal planting around ponds where you've got that sort of kind of boggy soil. That's where they'll thrive.
Because like you said, it all needs to be moist there.
Yeah, okay. Good. Don't plant these in full sun either. These like shade. They like sort of dappled shade, cool shade. So if you're looking for a plant for that kind of position where you've got a wet soil, but you want something that's really pretty, I mean, this one here is a perfect example of what we just saw in the picture there on the video. Just see how the little flower opens at the base there, and then gradually opens all the way up the stem. But they are winter hardy, by the way, so winter time, no problem. So they're not going to worry about the frost and stuff, but they do like to have really moist feet all the time. They don't ever like to really dry out.
I understand. Well, there we go, for £12.72, another bargain. It's better than half price. If you're, even if you're not a club member, it's brilliant. $29.97 would be the price you'd normally expect to pay for something like this around garden centres, but now £12.72. Don't forget, free post and packaging on every order on all these live deals we've got in the potting shed. But you do need to type in that code. That's YGTV2525. Type that in and then have a look at your postage. It'll go down to 0. Okay, now the next one we've got the sunflower. Honestly, these are beautiful.
They are.
Well, I still think sunflowers, you get one tall, massive thing. But this has got such a presence to it.
And this is a very frustrated plant, and I'll kind of tell you why. Because plants, like most things on the planet, I mean, let's face it, plants have to have a little bit of hanky-panky with the birds and bees.
Right, okay.
And then once they've done that, they want to set seed, and they want to secure the next generation.
So this hasn't had any hanky... Oh dear.
Well, trouble with this one, Charlie, it can't set seed.
Oh, right.
So,
bless it.
So what it keeps doing, it creates a flower, and then this flower can't produce seed, and it thinks, well, that's no good. I need to produce another flower because I've got to produce the next generation.
Right?
It's what I'm here for. You know, it's why I exist.
So it's really trying hard.
Yeah, but because it can't set seed, it just keeps flowering and flowering and flowering and flowering. This little one here is just starting to go over. Now, you can deadhead this, only just to keep it neat, so I'm just going to take that one off there, because that's just going over a bit. But you can see here, this one is just having a little tiny bit of a lull at the moment, but goodness me, only for a day or two, because if I tilt this plant forward, there are just buds. I mean, there's loads all over it. I mean, just buds everywhere.
Throughout the summer, that's going to be flowering.
This will keep going for you all the way through into November, easily.
Wow.
And they get to about 60 to 70 centimetres tall. Somebody once, on a fully grown plant of these, counted up to 1,000 flowers and buds on one plant.
On one plant?
One plant. And then they just stopped. They got bored.
Was that a few years down the line?
No, because this is actually an annual, this plant.
Oh, it's annual, okay.
Yeah, so it's only last year one season, although we have had some people say they've sort of kept them frost-free, and they have managed to take them through to another year.
But normally grown as an annual.
We would say treat this as an annual, but boy, oh boy, it's an amazing annual. I mean, the value in the amount of flower.
I'm blown away by that, Jen. We've had some images sent through, actually. Someone's got this. Do you know what? Oh, this is from Andrew, was it?
Andrew told us there was 3 plants growing here, and this, I think, is October. So even sort of October, mid-October time, still looking fabulous. And remember, this has already been flowering June, July, August, September into October. So if you want an annual plant that can get to about 60 centimetres tall, about a similar spread, that can have up to in excess of even 1,000 flowers per plant.
Honestly, it's not often you say that.
Go for one of these. I mean, if you've got a space to fill still, if you've got a container or a pot and you just want that continuous colour, and look at the flowers on these. Goodness me, they're beautiful. You've got that dark button in the middle. You've got that kind of little patch of colour kind of just bleeding out into the petals there as well, which is lovely. Lovely, lovely yellow petals there. Yeah, these are adorable.
That's magnificent, aren't they?
And the plants we're sending out to you are like this. They're in flower, they're in bud, they're well established, and they're just going to look gorgeous for you all the way through the summer, right up until the frosts.
Do you know, some people have their favourites, some people prefer them more than others with plants generally, but when it comes to sunflowers, I don't know anyone who doesn't like them. They put smiles on people's faces every time. I've never met anyone who doesn't like sunflowers.
How can you not like that beautiful? I mean, look how perfect that is. I mean,
it's so cheery. It's so cheerful, isn't it?
Just divine, isn't it? Look at it. Yeah. So lovely. That happy flower. That.
And if you've got this, let us know in a few months' time. See how many flowers you can get from it. So that could be hundreds, maybe even thousands. You never know. For £15.29. Brilliant deal. So yeah, 560-541. And if you forget, again, any item numbers, if you go to YouGarden.com, click on the live button there, scroll down, you'll see every one of these deals there. But it is while stocks last. To give you a little bit of a preview, by the way, the Nandina, the red light, this has been very popular too. Often referred to as sacred bamboo, but don't let that put you off. It's not actually bamboo, but it gives the appearance of one. So yeah, you haven't got to have that worry of being invasive. It's not. It's £11.04, but the most beautiful green foliage. You get lots of red on there too, hence the name. But there's something so warming about this, and it's going to give you, well, lots of warmth through those chilly evenings throughout the summer and part way into the autumn too. But 511559, that's gorgeous there. And I keep saying it. I keep changing my favourites every 5 minutes, I think. But that the bottle brush and the Weigela, I think that's going to go in my basket. I adore this, I really do. But for a plant, something so exotic looking, for £11.04, I'm blown away by that. I really am. Normally $14.99, which I think is actually still very good for how much you're getting. Okay, that is an absolute must. Get that fiery, beautiful pops of warmth into your garden. Now, we've got the poppy on the show. Before we go to the poppy, sorry, my bad. Let's have a look at this. This is the little red robin. This, from a distance, it's got sort of olive tree vibes from it, from when I saw it earlier. But it's not that. It's something so special. You get that gorgeous red foliage. If you want a little bit of height, I can imagine these in pairs. Again, if you've got like the patio doors, your front door, if you've got like a porch, have one of these either side of your door. Or you've got that garden path, you've got steps going down to it, or maybe got garden walls, just either side of that entrance. They're going to frame it beautifully. Or maybe you're going to have one in each corner. It's 510183. If your budget allows for just one, then that's going to be striking that. I just love the height of it. So £29.74. Right, YGTV 2525. Right, we're going to blast through some of the reviews because we've got lots more to go through with Adam. The Bressie in purple is £15.29. It's 561253. Beautiful green foliage, beautiful purples, quite soft purple too. It's a lovely contrast. Right, we've got the Himalayan blue poppy. Now, so often you see blue poppies like this, but you've got that gorgeous, like crepe papery kind of appearance to this for £11.04. So 480678, and these are easy to look after. We recommend an ericaceous soil or acidic soil if you've got it. Okay. How about this? The white strawberries, I know these were unusual, the Pineberries. I won't lie, I haven't had one, but apparently they're delicious. £11 and 2 pence is going to get you 3 9-centimetre pots. So that's 320015. Right, if you're talking about bursts of energy, this gives you quite a lot of height actually, as well as being so rich in colour. This is fiery. It's 561339, and Adam said if you've got like what they call a hot garden with lots of gorgeous colours, that's going to complement it beautifully. Right, how about Vintage Love? The other Weigela. Now this is the first one we looked at properly live. I love that vintage pink. It's so pretty, and this might be very nostalgic for you. Even if it's the first one you've ever bought, it just got that Renaissance, gorgeous, classic, traditional appeal. It's £12 and £12.74. If you've got like an old rustic terracotta pot, that anything aged, anything vintage looking as a planter, that's going to really complement it well. Okay, how about the next one? The Lupin Gallery. Now some lupins, they can get a bit overboard, so we have to stake them. This, it gets to a sensible height, so it's not hard to look after, it doesn't just take over, but it gives you that presence of colour. They tower up through those beds, up through your larger pots, for example, perfect. But for, yeah, £13.57, it's fantastic. 3 9-centimetre pots, saving £14, folks, so 560709. Now we've got the Fresca Rose. This is everything I want from a rose. Big, gorgeous, voluptuous blooms bursting with impact. And you've got all those different layers of those petals. They're stunning. Against the gorgeous green foliage, this is everything people want from roses. It comes in a 4-litre pot. Already well established, got to say, it's 530993. And look forward to those gorgeous, rich colours. Talking about colour, honestly, every time I walk around the nursery here at YouGarden, these just sing to me. They just have so much energy to them. It looks good there, but honestly, in person, it's like a glow, like a burning ember. There's something about them. They're so special. They just grab people's attention, these. Every show I've done here so far in YouGarden, well, it's only my third, but these are always on the forerunners. These are always right up there. People love them. They're so popular. £15.27 there. Right, how about the Waxflower? The Waxflower, they feel quite waxy. They look like they could be spiky, but they're not. They're almost quite soft, but when you get these gorgeous flowers, they are so stunning. 680270, that's £15.29. Okay, we have a lot of people adoring oleanders. We've been reading some of your comments and emails. You love this. I love that striking, that iconic look that the oleander foliage has. But look at these gorgeous white flowers. £15.29, that's 680058. We've also got the hardy fan palm. Now, you'll hear me rambling on about palms. I just love them. They're my absolute favourite. It brings holiday into your garden for £25.49. It's 680029. If you're not a club member, you can become one straight away and take advantage of these deals immediately. Right. That's going to be stunning. Right, now talk about hydrangeas. We've had lots of chat in the group about these. Right, the magical Himalaya, £12.74. Some hydrangeas can get a bit overboard. These stay fairly compact. So 511615 comes in a 3-litre pot for £12.74. Right, John, talk about variety today. How about now, apple trees for you? This is the Braeburn. It's often the variety I choose. I think it's a good all-rounder, the Braeburn. And it's one of the most popular varieties in the UK. I was reading earlier when I couldn't sleep last night. For £18.69. It's already quite tall, actually. I reckon about 4 or 5 foot high, maybe, perhaps. It really is quite established already. It's beautiful. And you still get big, gorgeous, juicy apples here. So £18.69. But again, it's the flavour, it's the appearance, but it's the picking, it's the experience of going outside, picking your own apples. You might multi-buy these and start an orchard. Why not? Whilst we've got the deal here, whilst we've got them in stock, 300031. Okay, now the magical Himalaya. Oh, wait a minute. That's not an hydrangea. we pressed the wrong button. This is better. This is a pineapple guava. Right, the Acker. This is £17.99. It's one of the most unusual plants we've got on the show. As Adam said, it does look like something we got from a different planet. And I haven't eaten one, but apparently they are simply delicious. Simply delicious. If you've tried one, can you let us know in the comments or email us in? Because how would you describe the flavour to someone who's never experienced this before? But that is just unbelievable. I've never seen anything quite like that. If you want a statement piece for your garden where your guests, your family, your friends are going to say, what is that? I need to get one. Well, you can tell them the story. It's 680146. A brilliant price, normally £24.99, but now it's £15.29 too. Do you know what people are saying? Hello still on Facebook, them and YouTube. Hello to everyone there. We've got Melissa still watching, Suzanne, Elena, Neil, Gillian, Simon, lots of people. Kyle's watching too. Anne, thank you so much. Forgive me, I haven't read all your names, but we love having your company. Thank you so much. Right. What should we look at next, then? We're sport for choice, aren't we? Should we do the Red Robin?
Yeah, why not, Charlie? Because this is lovely. This is a standard form of the Red Robin, the gorgeous, gorgeous Red Robin that has these sort of wonderful, wonderful kind of leaves that come through a really, really sort of gorgeous red colour, the new leaves, and then they gradually kind of fade down to a lovely deep sort of green, and you get other colours in between on these as well. And this is a standard form. It's been grafted. You can see the little grafting joint at the top here. And that's quite good, really, sometimes when things are grafted, because the actual stem or the trunk, that will stay the same thickness all the time.
Right.
It's just this top part that will do the growing. So you can see there where it was grafted onto the top. And this is kind of a smaller form, if you like, of Photinia, because the normal Photinia Red Robin can be super vigorous and has a lot bigger leaves. These ones have smaller leaves, and you can leave the top of this to do whatever you want it to do. So you can leave it to grow into a much more natural shape if you prefer.
So you could shape it as well.
You could, yeah.
If you like more of a traditional kind of look, or if you want something a bit more. A bit more rounded and shaped.
Like topiary, if you kind of wanted to make it into topiary, you could certainly do that. And actually, Photinias react very well, because what you normally find is when you actually clip them back, the new foliage that comes through always gives you the brightest, sort of boldest colours as well. So if you want these kind of really kind of gorgeous, beautiful, really, really red kind of shoots on the end, if you trim it back a couple of 2 or 3 times a year, the new shoots that come through will always come through those really, really super bright colours. Don't do that any later than kind of about end of July to middle of August at the very latest, because what you want is to happen is you just want that final flush of new foliage that comes through to just toughen up a bit before the winter, so it doesn't get hit by the frost. But having said that, this plant is bone hardy. It's not going to worry about the frost. -10, -12, -15. It's not going to bother it.
Peace of mind.
Full sun, part shade, windy position. Not fussed about soil, clay soil, sandy soil. These are really, really tough plants.
Well, would you need to repot this down the line?
Yeah, I would. I'd put it into some containers. I think probably one of our larger size Somerville planters or one of our larger size olive planters. In fact, I'll treat myself to a couple of these, because I think one either side of a front door.
Oh, you've got to have that.
Yeah, one either side of a back door.
I do love the symmetry sometimes. You know,
yeah, I mean, what we've got. The pot we've got here today would be okay actually. Probably for, in fact, we'll drop it in there
for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So we could drop it into there. Now that would be okay certainly for the first season or so, because this isn't a sort of particularly tall one. But eventually, in fact, I think that really goes well in there, because you've got the lovely terracotta colours on here.
Yeah, well, it's a warmed coloured pot with a warm coloured foliage,
and it picks up on, doesn't it?
Well, I think.
Yeah, let's just turn it around to its best side. So yeah, that
and they're on the show.
Up.
These planters, these pots, yeah.
That's lovely. Yeah, that June planter, that one. And you can see there, it picks up the colours, those warm colours of the terracotta, pick up on the foliage of this actual plant.
That would work well.
I think they'd work brilliant together.
And this is frost-proof.
Frost-proof, UV stable. And of course, if you drop this, well, if it was a clay pot, that's it. It's just crocs, isn't it? Game over. But drop this, no problem at all. You've got your drainage holes in the base there as well. And that little Photinia will probably sitting in there quite happily for about a year or two. Yeah. Just feed it, obviously. Use our blooming fast liquid feed. need to give it a feed, to keep it happy. Do that perhaps once a month through the growing season. But if you want a plant that's always evergreen and ever red, because all the new leaves come through red, these even flower for you eventually. They have little flat heads of white flower that can produce berries. You can leave it to grow naturally, and year on year it will kind of get that big, that big, that big, that big. It kind of could form a dome about that big eventually. Wow. But if you don't want it to get to that size, if you want something a bit more formal,
we'll control it.
Get your secateurs or your nice, really sharp shears and just trim that round into a little ball shape, and then the new shoots that come will give you those fiery red leaves.
Do you like it traditional, or do you like it more
formal?
No,
I actually prefer these things more kind of natural. I like the kind of more kind of unclipped look. But
it depends. I quite like it. I've given my olive trees a bit of a trim the other day, and honestly I spent half an hour like trying to get it. I'm not like that with everything, but some things I actually like doing it. But
sometimes it's not till you walk, you step back, don't you? You kind of step back like this, and then
you can get obsessive over it, can't you?
And then you kind of from a distance you see a bit, and you're like, a little bit there. Just need to do that bit there. Need to do that bit there.
I like doing that. Do you know what? I find it so much fun being like that. I adore it. Well, they have about it. Maybe going to go for the red robin tree. If you want to add in the June powdered brick planter, well, it's coming to £47.98. Don't forget, no delivery. It's free postage packaging. Just make sure you type in the code YGTV2525. And if you join the club, £7.20. So you spend £10 today to become a member. Even if you're just buying this, well, you've just saved £7.20. You know, so it can pay for itself quickly. If it added another saving in there, well, you may even save £10 in total, depending on what you're buying. So that could really pay for itself in your first order if you're stocking up. Maybe adding the compost in there too. But yeah, if you want variety, you can completely kit out your garden from this one show alone. You could do.
Just one quick thing to mention about that club as well.
Yes.
If you make sure the renewal never lapses, the price stays the same forever, doesn't it, Charlie?
Yeah, £10.
£10. So year after year after year, we'll never put it up. You'll always pay that original price as long as you make sure the membership doesn't lapse. So
yeah, good point.
How many people do that?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, I would.
Yeah.
You know what? You get £20 worth of vouchers. That's £4 or £5 vouchers throughout the year. You get 2 free post and packaging, so you can choose that when you want. You get exclusive insider knowledge and gardening tips. You get so much there, but 50% off plants and accessories. If you're buying some more bigger piece, like sort of machinery, a hardware bit, you get 7.5% off that too. So it's worth every single penny. But just have a look on the website too. I learned so much from there. I love the way it's laid out, the YouGarden website, because if you're looking for something to complement this, that or the other, or if you're looking for, I don't know, Mediterranean plants or plants for borders, they give you good sections. So it's very, very inspiring website too. Right, here we go. There's so much to go through. If you click live now, go all the way down, and you'll see the special live deals we got for you today. Right, we're on air for about another 45 minutes-ish, so keep your comments coming in. Shall we have a look at the hydrangea
Look
again?
at this. I mean, what you see, let's pick this up, because what
it's
you see...
big, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, this is what we're sending out to you. This is the size plant, and chances are yours will already have flower buds on, because this is typical stock that we bring in from the nursery. This is another compact hydrangea as well, this one, but I'll tell you what this one has. Let's just show you the flowers on this, because, oh my goodness me. You look at the kind of the colours on these. I mean, you've got all those incredible colours there. You've got kind of the reds, you've got the whites, you've got this kind of changing sort of flower colour. You can see
sort
here.
Of marbles in together, the colours there.
I mean, just look at that there. And as the flower ages, you get that those different accents of colour that develop. So kind of for a long, long time, you're getting the drama of those conical shaped flowers as well. It's another one of the paniculata types as well, so very easy to prune. If it ever got bigger than you wanted it to be, late winter, perhaps to early to mid-spring, trim it down to the height you want, and all the new shoots that come through will flower for you the same year. So no nightmares about pruning this. Bone hardy, by the way. Loses its leaves in the autumn, but it has lovely yellow leaves in the autumn before they drop. It'll get through the snow, it'll get through the frost. Next spring it'll come back for you, it'll flower all over again. Part sun, part shade, dappled shade. You could, again, I mean, these are only sort of examples. You could start it off
in the pot.
In the
like
June,
that?
yeah,
Okay.
in the June plant. I mean, I wouldn't say you could keep it in here permanently, but if you just kind of like, if you particularly like, I think that looks good in there actually.
Do you know what?
Like
It's a forgiving pot, that.
It is.
Do you know what? That looks really good.
Yeah, it kind of works. Isn't it? It's pretty much no matter what kind of plant you put in this pot, it seems to
fits
work,
all of them
doesn't it?
so far, yeah.
So yeah, yeah, you can see them. You can mix it whatever angle you want really there. But so yeah, certainly you could get it established in here. But then in the autumn, what I do, I take it out of this pot, then plant it permanently where it needs to be in the garden, or put it into a bigger pot. But then of course, then you could use the pot in the autumn to put some spring flowering bulbs in, or some wallflowers, or forget-me-nots, or winter flowering pansies, or violas. So you've definitely got, you know, another use for this pot at the end of the day. But if you want a hydrangea that is really different, with really kind of unusual flowers that sort of change colour, give you that interest, go for this Magical Fire.
I think so. There's something so traditional about a hydrangea, isn't there? If you haven't got a hydrangea yet, make it this one, the Magical Fire. £12.74, so 511635. Right, okay, we're back here now at the favourites table. They're all impressive. We love all of these, but let's have a look at the vintage love, the Weigela. So now this is so nostalgic for lots of people, I think, Adam.
I mean, it's called Vintage Love, this one, and this one is glorious. Only gets to about 60 to 80 centimetres tall. So if you're kind of somebody about my age, you might remember when you was a kid, Weigelas were kind of great big gawky,
were they
leggy.
Massive? They were.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean they were pretty, but they were big. They always took up loads of space.
Right,
I mean they could be a couple of 2 or 3 metres tall.
Oh really? So
really wide. Yeah, and I remember my granddad used to have Weigelas, and in the end he ended up kind of what I call lollipopping them, because he couldn't let them grow into a natural shape. So then he'd get the hedge trimmer out.
Use the natural shape.
Yeah, and then they'd all have those kind of artificial, kind of blobby ball shapes to them, kind of thing.
See, this one, I'd want to keep natural as possible, I think.
So this one, you can keep it that lovely natural shape, because it only gets to 60 to 80 centimetres. You can grow it in a container, but it has this dark foliage, almost black kind of foliage, bronzy colours, coppery colours, green colours as well, and then these phenomenally beautiful flowers that just contrast so incredibly well with that dark foliage, and they set each other off. Basically the foliage sets off the flowers and the flowers set off the foliage, and it's something we're seeing more and more these days with plant breeders. I think for years when we looked at plants, we always concentrated more on the actual flower colour, not the foliage colour, and now we're bringing more and more plants to you, like the Photinia we just showed you, for example, where you've got gorgeous foliage and wonderful flowers as well. This is bone hardy, this plant, by the way. It'll get through the winter, it'll get through the frost, it'll get through the snow. Nice. Full sun, part shade, not fussed about soil. Grow it in your garden if you want to, but it does make a beautiful container plant. So if you've just got a balcony garden or a really small space and you've always wanted a Weigela, but you've been worried about the fact it's going to take over, this one will be compact, and it will give you...
on a balcony, quite right, yeah.
Absolutely. And you'll get masses of these flowers. I mean, once this is established for a year or so, it'll be covered in those blossoms for a good 4 to 6 weeks, and just contrasting with that foliage. And of course, even once the blossom's finished on the Weigela, because you've got that dark foliage, you could perhaps find another plant with, say, golden foliage or yellow foliage to plant next to it.
Yeah.
And then again, you'd have that wonderful contrast, wouldn't you? So you can do that.
I can't take my eyes off those gorgeous petals. There's something just so cosy about that colour, isn't there? The vintage, it is like a vintage pink. Well, it's called the Vintage Love Weigela. It's £12.74, so 511643. This beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We've got Nepalese Flame. This really packs a punch. This is, wow, you can't walk past this and not take a moment to appreciate it.
No, this plant is shameless.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd even say almost vulgar, but in a good way, not a bad way.
It's confident.
Yeah,
it's a confident plant.
Yeah, I mean, you and Jake probably went to uni. I didn't go to uni, but you probably, there was probably that girl or boy at uni, or that, for me, that kid or boy or girl at school always walked in the room, and it was like, you know, they were the kind of the real
the
kind
sort of person you hear them before you see them.
That's it. Yeah. And
this is that.
They were larger than life kind of characters, weren't they?
Yeah.
With sort of, really...
This would be the last one home on a stag party, this one.
Kind of the sort of person with the blue hair and the kind of the bright red top. And well, this is this plant. There's three of these 9 centimetre sized plants, and they're beautiful. They can get to about 1 metre to 3 metres tall. But these do steal the limelight. in a good way, because they don't want to compete with flowers the rest of the season. So what they decide to do is they flower for you late summer into autumn. So I don't want any competition. I want to be the main plant for everybody to see this time of year. So when your chrysanthemums, when your dahlias, when your asters, when your cannas and all those things are flowering late summer, your amistad, salvia for example, that's when this decides to flower. And on those sort of days when the light levels are drawing in a bit and the days are shortening, these are going to brighten up those days with these fiery red, huge, great big sort of clusters of flowers, loved by the pollinating insects. A warm, sunny, well-drained position is where it thrives. These can get to about 1 metre to 3 metres tall. And if you can grow them in the ideal sweet spot, they will get through for you from winter to winter. Grow them in a large container if you want. But if you just want a plant that's going to be in your face in a beautiful way, late summer into autumn, and picking up the baton once other flowers have faded in the summer, go for these.
It's good to think, because yeah, I mean, it's going to be a safe bet in that regard, because you want to time scale your garden so it looks beautiful for as long as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
£18.67. Even just that, if you're just curious how that transforms your garden, what that can add, it's £18.67. It's a bargain, and normally about the best part of £30 you expect to pay for something like this in garden centres.
And you've got those pussycat leaves there, pussycat ear leaves on there, all soft.
Yeah, they're very, very soft, almost furry. They're bizarre, but something to behold, something to experience yourself. So 561339. Right, the next one we've got here. I haven't seen these before. Well, these Pineberries.
Yeah, well, these are something else a bit different. You know, if you want to go for a fruit that's very unusual, these are Pineberries. They are a strawberry. They're a type of strawberry, but they have a very kind of pale coloured flesh, white, almost to an incredible soft pink, kind of a little bit more rounded than a normal strawberry. But other than that, exactly the same. You grow them where you grow your normal strawberries. In fact, mix them in with your normal strawberries. They can grow sort of cheek by jowl with your normal strawberries. No problem at all. Put them in window boxes, hanging baskets, beds and borders, open sunny position in nice sort of moisture retentive, organic rich soil. You may even get some fruit on these this year, because the plants we're sending out to you are 3 stunning plants in 9-centimetre pots. They can go straight out into the garden now. Water them, get them established, and for the next 3 or 4 years you'll get a lovely fruit production on these. And these are novel, they're different, they're unusual, they're sweet, they're juicy, they're packed with vitamins, and like Charlie said earlier on, what a lovely idea to perhaps, if you've got friends around, if you're having a sort of a garden party or eating outside, al fresco.
It's a talking point, isn't it?
Red strawberries and white strawberries in one bowl.
There's nothing I wouldn't try, you know. Like I'm a massive foodie. I'm just curiosity gets the better of me. I want to try it. But you might make some like jams or something with it.
Why not?
Pineberry jam, who knows? And you know when it's done, because when it just pulls away easily, that's when you know. So obviously with another strawberry, you know when it's really rich red. But with this one, you get the feel for it, I suppose.
Once you've tried them once, you'll be hooked, really. But just before we move on, I'll just quickly show you.
I'm just so curious. I want to see what it's like.
The root system on these as well, because we always do that. So there you go. I'm going to sort of take out the pot. You can see that fabulous root system there as well. Beautiful root system. Look at that. I mean, glorious there, that root system. And just one quick thing, take the runners off in the first year. Don't leave these on because they sap the plant's energy. You want it to get established first, and then you can just use those to make extra plants from year 2.
Before you plant it, you do that,
yeah. Just cut those off.
Okay, well, there we go, folks. 320015. We've also got the blue poppy for you next too.
We have. Well, I know lots of you already are in the Bloppy Club, which we've now created.
I'm going to find this after.
And basically the Bloppy Club is for anybody who's got one of these to flower, and I've got these to flower 2 consecutive years. My secret, you might have a different one, the secret for me to get these to flower was I grew them in ericaceous compost. I never ever let them dry out during the growing season, and also I kept them out of direct sun. I never let the sun fall onto the flowers or petals. Bright spot but no direct sun. That's how I got them to flower. So you'll get your plants home, 3 plug plants for you there, garden ready plug plants. Plant them up. You can put them in the ground direct if you've got acid soil and it's moist enough. They look great by streams and water features, and they do very well in boggy soil as well if you've got acid soil. But plant these up at home in your pots if you want to. They'll put out a few more leaves during the summer, and they'll form like a little rosette of leaves. later in the season, those leaves will die away and you'll just have like a little stump left in the middle. At that point, you're going to think to yourself, I knew I couldn't grow them.
Oh.
Flipping things
Keep
have
the
died.
faith.
Keep the faith, as Charlie said. Wait till next spring. You'll start to see those leaves burst through again. Be patient. Give it another month or so. You'll start to see a lovely big stem come
They
out
like
the
to
middle.
tease us, don't they?
Yeah.
They can be a bit diva-y as
They
well.
can,
these
but do those 3 things, you will get them to flower, and when they do, you're going to be cock-a-hoop, because I tell you what, you'd have never grown a plant that is this colour. I mean, the blue of this flower is phenomenal, and these will be a talking point.
They really are, that contrast.
But they're easy if you do the right thing.
If you do the right thing. Well, there we go. And don't forget, actually, if you forget any of these tips, these shows, they're uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch it back time and time again. If you want to double check something when you get them home before you plant it, then yeah, by all means, watch the show back. So 480-678, that's 3 jumbo plugs for £11.04. Delivered at no extra cost, okay? So you haven't got to pay any postage or packaging fees. In fact, if you type in YGTV 2525, free P&P. Right, okay, the Bressingham Purple. Yeah. This is, I'll never forget this one, I don't think. This is so special.
Well, I mean, yeah, some people think the poppies are a bit of a diva. Well, these are the other end of the scale. These are
chilled.
These are scoundrels, these ones. I mean, they really are. These are the easiest perennial you can grow. If I was going to sort of choose any perennial for anybody to grow, whether you're a novice, whether you're a professional,
really, right.
you know, whether you're just starting gardening, Polemonium or Jacob's Ladder tick the box, because what you've got with these plants, you've got drought tolerance once established, bone hardy frost-wise as well, will grow in full sun, part shade. They come back year after year. They flower for week after week after week, loved by the pollinating insects. That picture you're seeing there, if it looks like blue, they're not blue, they're purple. The flowers are like that, but don't think, oh, they're gorgeously blue. They're not, they're purple. But the flower stems can get up to a couple of feet tall. As Charlie said, almost kind of fern-like foliage on these as well. And sometimes the foliage can be like a bronzy colour as well, an even darker colour.
It's such an unusual contrast between that. It's like a very whimsical flower against something that looks almost a little bit tropical.
Yeah, they do have a bit of a... I can see that.
It's really interesting, this.
Fabulous root system as always. All our plants have these incredible root systems. Look at that, growing up so beautifully well there. Look at that beautiful root system. See, we don't just put little cuttings or seedlings or things in pots for a few weeks and then send them out to you. We grow our things on with love and care and attention. We use our professional compost, we feed them. So you're going to get 3 of these stunning plants. What I would suggest you do is once the main flower spike has completely finished flowering, if you then trim it down to where the main kind of clump of leaves is at the bottom, chances are they'll send up some more shoots for you and they'll repeat flower a little later in the season. And once these are established, it won't just be one flower stem. You'll get 4 or 5, 6 beautiful upright flower stems that never need staking, just giving you these beautiful purple flowers. And each flower is so perfectly simple but so exquisitely beautiful at the same time. They're adorable, these.
They really are, aren't they?
And easy.
They're so pretty. They're just you can't stop looking at them. They're just, there's the height there, it's the leaves. You've got something a bit more exotic and also something quite traditional looking in one plant. I love it. It's good value for money in that respect, especially for £15.27. So 561 253 even. Right, okay, now this has got, well, this has to be one of the heroes of most shows here at YouGarden because you love this compost. We have so many good reviews on this. You can read them on the website. But we love it because if you're going to give your plants a really, really good start, this is going to be the one. But the first thing I learned about was the wood fibres in here because that gives valuable space for roots to grow. Because other times, if it's too claggy, you don't get that growth. They haven't got the space to grow. It makes total sense, this.
Yeah, and I found that, Charlie. I did buy an inferior compost once to sow some seeds in, and I kind of put the seeds in the seed tray, I sprinkled some soil on top, I lightly pressed the soil down, then I watered it, and then I put the tray in the greenhouse, and it dried out, and the whole thing almost went like a brick.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so it's quite solid.
Yeah, it went really solid, and none of the seed came through. They didn't have the energy to push through this kind of crust-like surface, because it had gone rock hard almost.
Waterlogged.
Yeah.
I guess, does this help with the drainage?
Yeah, you do. I mean, the wood fibre helps with the drainage. So, and you've got that perfect balance because this is a peat reduced compost, and we were reducing the peat in our compost long before everyone else. And even some of the peat we were using was from renewable sphagnum moss. So you've got one element of that part peat holding onto the moisture, then the wood fibre creating the drainage. So you get that perfect balance, not too wet, not too dry. It allows the air to get down to the roots as well. And if you're putting little plants in, like Sean is here, our lovely Sean Ryan, those roots can penetrate down into the ground and get established really, really quickly. And when they do, what they're going to find? They're going to find a slow-release fertiliser that's going to feed them for up to 6 months. They're going to find moisture. The reason they're going to find moisture is because the elements in here holding onto the moisture, but also because there's a wetting agent. It makes this compost what's called hydrophilic. It wants to absorb and suck in the moisture when you water it, not just run off the top. pH balance as well. Not too acid, not too alkaline, so it suits the vast majority of plants. Comes in these plain white bags. Stu, our producer, always says the value's in the bag, not on the bag. Delivered to you in a cardboard box, made from recycled cardboard on your doorstep. Cardboard can then go back in the recycling bin for future use. And yeah, once you've used this, you will become what we call a compost snob. You will not want to use any other compost. And just chat, you know, just listen to the comments. Chat to other people in the chat right now who've used it.
There's comments on YouTube about this as we speak, so people how much they love it.
They will tell you.
Do you think? Because I honestly did think years ago that compost is just compost, you know. But when I heard about this, it just makes sense. It really, really does. Because I felt this compost, and I have bought, the cheap stuff, to say, like, you know, DIY stores and, you know, retail parks. You can't compare it. You really cannot compare it. If you're going to try something today, try and get this for £21.23. I honestly think it's worth every single penny it is. You know what you also might want to add in to really look after your plants now is this. This is the superior. This is the plant food. So, God, remind us, how much can this make? Because this is staggering.
This will make 250 5-litre watering cans of feed.
I know.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
So just imagine 250 watering cans surrounding Charlie and I right now. You could fill each one of them up with some of this and make that much liquid feed out of this. It's a granular feed. When you open it up, it's sort of like a pink sand kind of colour inside. So always dissolve it first. So sprinkle it into the watering can. As you fill the watering can up, it will gradually dissolve. Never put it on the soil first, then water. Dissolve first. And then you can actually water directly onto the roots, or you can use it as a foliar feed over the leaves. But it's a superior feed.
Is there anything you wouldn't use this on?
No, you can use it. I mean, I wouldn't say bother using it on grass, but other than that, you can use it on anything, even house plants. But it's got the nitrogen, the phosphorus and the potassium, which nearly all fertilisers have. But we've gone that step further by putting in loads of those really rare trace elements that a lot don't. And they're critical to give you that fully comprehensive feed for your plants that other fertilisers don't.
So you give yourself, fill up a couple of watering cans, pot around. What, once a week?
Yeah, so weekly, fortnightly. Follow the instructions on there. But yeah, you will not go wrong with this fertiliser. You'll have amazing results.
It's worth every single penny. See what this can do for your garden. £16.99. So 100048. I'm reading out these amazing discounted prices. If you're not a member of the club yet, it's well worth it. You can save a lot of money, and there's lots of other features too.
If you love your garden as much as we love ours, then why not join the YouGarden Discount Club?
The club has been running for many years, and it's where thousands of our customers enjoy a whole host of benefits to ensure that they get the most out of their gardens for less.
Now is a great time to join the YouGarden Discount Club, as the benefits have just got even better. So what do you get when you join the club?
Firstly, our members will get bigger discount rates all year round. So you'll now receive 15% off our range of plants and accessories, and that's on top of any other discounts you might have.
For those bigger investments, such as garden furniture or lawnmowers, for example, you now get 7.5% discount on all of our outdoor living and machinery range.
In addition to the ongoing discounts, you'll also get more voucher value when you join or renew your club membership. We will send you 4 £5 product vouchers, which you can redeem throughout the year against the cost of your orders.
And as a new added benefit, you will now receive 2 free P&P vouchers, which can be redeemed against the cost of your shipping.
Club members get priority access to exclusive offers and brand new products at our best prices.
We'll keep you up to date with fantastic advice and top tips from our grown experts and professional gardeners to make sure that you get the most from your new purchases and existing plants. The best way to join the club is with our auto-renewal subscription. You'll pay £10 per year, then at the end of the year we will automatically renew your membership to ensure you retain all of your benefits. Plus, the price you pay when you join will never go up for as long as you remain a member, and that's a guarantee.
And remember, when you join the club, you will start saving from the very first order you make, as the discounts will be applied immediately. So with all that the YouGarden Discount Club has to offer, why not join us and start saving today?
We'd love to help you make the most of your garden for less with the YouGarden Discount Club.
It's half price at the moment for the renewal one, the auto subscription. It's £10 for the year, and you can get that back so very quickly. Right, talking about deals, we've got about half an hour-ish left on the show. Now, this is a firm favourite with lots of our viewers. This is a classic lavender we've got here.
I'll tell you what, just if I give you that show, just run your hands through that foliage and then just smell that incredible foliage, because...
Well, do you know what? Because some lavender I've bought in the past is a bit there, but you want to get that. You want it strong,
lovely?
You want it scented. You want it to register when you walk past it. It's a little bit citrusy, actually.
It is, yeah.
It's got that lovely classic smell which you want to expect, but it's fresh. It's a fresh one.
And this is your sort of classic English lavender. Hidcote, this is the one. Hidcote and Munstead are the two kind of we call as classic English lavenders. This has got lovely upright foliage, beautiful upright flowers, deep purple, fragrant flowers, fragrant foliage, loved by the pollinating insects. Grow this in full sun, grow it on poor soils. Lavender is not fussed about having super rich soils. In fact, the lavender fields not far from where I live are very sandy soils.
Right.
Very little nutrient, and they thrive. But the best thing about this is these plants that we'll show you in a moment are in a 9 centimetre pot. Now, in some garden centres, you could get plants like that in a 2-litre pot, and you could be paying like, I don't know, sort of $5.99, perhaps $6-7.99 each per plant.
Yeah.
So if you want a hedge,
It's a really good point.
It could be 60-70 quid for 10 of these.
I actually bought some lavender recently for it's about £5 or £6.
Yeah.
And I needed some, but do you know what? I should have waited for this.
I mean, for instance,
£2.50, just over £2.50.
Yep, so you plant these about a foot apart, straight away you've kind of already covered like a really big space. I mean, you could double up on these. If you was in the club, you could double up and get 20 plants for like just over 50 quid there. And you've got a lavender hedge that's already there, because these plants are already...
£25, just over a hedge, a lavender hedge. And it's a classic, the hedge coat as well, isn't it? But honestly, people use this in like the sort of fragrance industries, and people, they trim them, they dry them out, and make little... lavender bags, don't they, for wardrobes? Just going back to my craftiness, wardrobes and like chest of drawers and so on. There's something about that. Use it like potpourri.
Well, I've had lavender ice cream before, and I've had lavender biscuits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be up front. I did think the lavender ice cream was going to taste like toilet duck.
Yeah.
But actually,
would you go back for more?
Yeah, I would. It actually tasted really, really nice. I thought it was going to taste like a cleaning product.
Yeah.
But no, it didn't.
Lavender ice cream. Yeah. I've never had that.
But basically, at the end of the day, if you want to plant a lavender hedge at a fraction of the cost of what it would cost you to buy plants, elsewhere.
Yeah, just over £2.50 works out to be. It's really impressive. I haven't seen a price that good for lavender.
No, because I don't know why lavender's always so expensive, because they grow like weeds and they seed about. But there you go. So yeah, beautiful little pack there if you want to grow a lavender hedge at a fraction of the cost.
You don't need to pay £39.90 there. That is such good value for money. Loving it. Right, the Nandina, the red light. I adore this.
It's different, isn't it?
I really, really like this.
We bring a range of Nandinas to you, and this is kind of the latest one we're kind of bringing to you. And it's got that extraordinary foliage, very, very finely cut foliage, exquisite range of colours on there. There's pinks, there's salmons, there's creams, there's whites, there's greens. This is a shrub that's hardy, by the way. It'll get through all the winters, drought tolerant once established, full sun, part shade. Probably only ever get to about 1 metre tall eventually, very slow growing, has a lovely upright domed habit to it. It can even, produce berries and flowers eventually if it's a really, really happy plant. But if you want drama, if you want to be looking out your window and seeing a plant that looks as good in mid-June as it does in mid-January, this will do it for you. You can.
It is amazing, that, isn't it?
It is,
in
yeah.
January. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine that look, that pop of colour.
And there's so much colour on this plant, just from the foliage. You don't need flowers.
No, no.
I mean, flowers almost seem superfluous, really, when you see the amount of colour you've got. Look at that lovely shot there, where you can see right in and just see all those beautiful little colours. I love the leaves there that just got the green and the cream,
It's
and
like a marbling of green.
Yeah, isn't it? It's a marbling effect there.
Yeah.
And you've got this very, very fine foliage, but they tick all the boxes. They don't need pruning, they don't need shaping, they don't get any pests and diseases.
And they're not invasive, they don't overtake, do they?
No, ignore the bamboo thing as well. If you ever hear anybody sort of say, Nandina, heavenly bamboo, it's nothing to do with a bamboo.
It looks a bit like one, but it's not a bamboo.
No, these don't spread, they don't invade, these are not going to come up under your next door neighbour's living room carpet.
No.
They just remain a nice, compact, in situ shrub.
Yeah, they give that lovely exotic look, don't they? 511559. Great stuff. Yeah, YGTV 2525 is the offer code to get free postage packaging on any of these items we're seeing live, whether it's the plant feed, whether it's the planters, whether it's the compost, any of it. Right, yeah, we love the Nandina there. Right, let's have a look. Right, let's move these bits out of the way. So we've got the lupins next.
Yeah, these are our gallery lupins. Lupins are superb. Lupins are...
I've never had lupins.
Oh, you've got to, Charlie, because they are such a traditional cottage garden plant in the UK.
So they're native to the UK?
No, they actually grow in places like Canada and North America. They're kind of like prairie plants, like upper sort of mountain prairie plants. Although you might have seen them, there's a big stretch of the M25 where they've got...
Lovely part of the world.
But they grow wild, so great place for two-week holiday.
Days out there. It's more of a car park than the motorway, isn't it?
But joking apart, there is for about many miles, I can't remember what junctions it is, but there's certain times of year you just see these lupins growing all the way along the motorway embankment.
Wow.
And that gives you an idea to where they grow naturally. They're kind of like a prairie grassland kind of perennial. That's what they do well. So they're like a bright, open, sunny position. Don't make lupins compete with other plants. If you kind of jam them in between other plants, they kind of get all leggy and they don't do very well. So bright open space, let the sun get to them, let the air get to them. That could be in a container, by the way, because they do make brilliant container plants, or grow them directly in an open border somewhere. They're hardy, they'll come back for you year after year. Well drained position, moisture retentive soil, sunshine. You'll get your initial flush of flower and you'll see these lovely flower spikes develop, and you've got the three colours, you've got the pink, you've got the white, and you've got that beautiful bicolour one there as well. And you'll get that main big flower spike in the middle. When that goes over, just chop that one big flower spike off, the central one. Then you'll get little sort of side ones that come up just below it. They'll keep the flower going as well. And when they've gone, take the whole flower stem down to about 2 or 3 inches above ground level. Give the plant a really good drink with something like Blooming Fast. Completely new shoots will come from the base and they'll repeat flower for you probably another 4 to 6 weeks later.
Nice.
So you can get them to double bloom. Easy plants, very traditional cottagey garden plants, great plants for children to grow. Happy, gorgeous, cheerful, beautiful plants, loved by the pollinating insects. And lupins even fix nitrogen into the soil as well. So they've got lots of really, really good attributes. And even,
it's a healthy thing to have in your garden.
It is, yeah.
You don't need to stake them or anything.
No. This is a nice compact variety, this one. So nice, thick, strong stems. So they actually don't need staking.
If you're a club member, look at that saving. It's way better than half price here. You're saving more than what you're spending, because the recommended retail price here is at £29.97, but now in the club, £13.57. For all three of them, for 3 parts there of the lupins. It's so good. Honestly, you could really kit out your garden for not much money at all with YouGarden. I love these guys. Do you know, the lupins, it's all about that too. Yeah. YGTV 2525 to get your free post and packaging. Right now, the next one we've got is the Fresca rose. Do you know, I do love roses, but the bigger the better for me. I love those big, gorgeous, fluffy blooms. That's what you're going to get with it.
Yeah, this is good. This is Constantina Fresca, this one. There used to be a drink called Fresca.
It's like
many
a
years ago.
strawberry kind of rose. Yeah.
But yeah, this is a rose. This is a floribunda rose. So what that means eventually is, I mean, at the moment you only might be seeing one bud per stem, but this rose is in its very early stages. Eventually you'll get clusters, like you can see here, clusters of these stunningly beautiful roses on each stem. And the rose is predominantly that deep red colour, but then it's flushed with little splashes of white here and there. Every flower is unique. Every flower is individual. It's got that kind of jumping gene kind of thing to it. So the flower colour keeps changing all the time. Those could even be peonies. I mean, they actually look like peony flowers. Super healthy foliage on this. Only gets to about 60 to 80 centimetres tall. It repeat flowers, so basically you deadhead it. Once the whole flower spike has gone over, just trim that down to an outward facing bud, to anywhere down the stem, a sort of a stem thickness, I would say kind of between a knitting needle and a pencil kind of thickness. You'll get another shoot come up that will repeat flower for you, and they can keep flowering all the way into the autumn.
Oh, they're so pretty. It's the layers and layers of those petals. They're so eye-catching. It's £16.99, so 530993. Right then, let's give you a little bit of a review. We've got about 15 minutes-ish left on the show. It's flown by, as it always does. Let us know what's been your favourites. But I'll tell you what, the fan palm even, that people have been loving this one. It's so pretty. I mean, this is so easy to look after. It's not fussy at all. This one isn't a diva. Yes, of course, it's winter hardy. For £25.49 to get a palm. It looks so Mediterranean. It's so exotic for your garden. 680029. To get that delivered for free is brilliant. All you pay is the price on your screen, £25.49. Excellent stuff. Right, if you're tempted by that, then have a look at this one. How about this for Hydrangea? This is the magical Himalaya. This stays a little bit compact, this one, so it doesn't get out of control. It's nice and easy to shape and keep in control. It's £12.74 at the club, so 511615. People love this. Gorgeous, gorgeous white leaves. It's like an off-white. It's beautiful. Right now, the Braeburn apples. I was so excited. We had some apples. I always love fruit trees. You might be multi-buying this. You might have yourself a little mini orchard. You know, where are you going to place them? But you can get big yields, big, gorgeous, juicy apples. And if you love a Braeburn, imagine having yours. Imagine just picking it in the garden, slicing it up, and just tasting what you've grown. That's just a wonderful thing. So 300031. Okay, and they're quite tall already, actually. We've also got the pineapple guava. Now, I haven't tried these, but apparently they are delicious. You know, it comes in a 2-litre pot. You're saving £7 here. So 680146. But yes, it's the fruit. Really, for me, though, it's about the plant. It looks like something from a different galaxy, from a different planet. They are so unusual, it's going to be another focal point for your home, for your garden. But yeah, if you have tried one, let us know. Let us know how you get on. £15.29 for that. Now, when it comes to oleander, I love them as they're evergreen. I love them in the foliage. I love them for their flowers too. But even when they're not flowering, they look so exotic, don't they? It's £15.29. But the flowers we got, the ones we had in the studio, it was magnificent. You're going to get something like that. 680058. So that's £17.99. If you're not a club member, that's the price you pay. If you are in the club, well, you're saving more money. It's £15.29. And once again, it's only £10 to become a club member, and you can start taking advantage of these discounts immediately. It's not just on this show, even when we're not live. Go on the website. You get 15% off garden plants and accessories. Okay, how about the brown-eyed girl? This is what I call a sunflower. This is beautiful. This is bound to put a smile on someone's face, whoever is lucky enough to look at this. You can get hundreds of flowers for a plant. People even say maybe even 1,000. I know. It's ridiculous. £15.29. That adds such a cheerful vibe to anyone's garden. I don't know anyone who doesn't like sunflowers, and I like that value for money. So it's 560541. We've also got the Petite Jenny. These are very sweet, like a candy floss pink is how we describe these. But the petals, they look so. They're so light. The way they just wisp and float around in the wind is something very atmospheric. So 561335. Now the Osteospermum, we love the osteos. They look gorgeous here, but honestly, get these home and experience the colour. It's like they're subtly glowing. People describe these like burning, like embers in a fire. I can't get over these. It's like a little iridescent, like a shimmer to them. That's really something to experience. And that could be what you're going to get home. You can get so many flowers from just one of them, and you're getting three 9-centimetre pots for £15.27, just over £5 a piece. It's brilliant. It's 560812. Right, we've got the little red robins here. This is another one of my favourites today. I love the height here, but the beautiful foliage. So I wanted to check with Adam on this. So they start with what, red leaves, and then they go green, do they?
Yeah, absolutely. So deep red to start with, Charlie, and then they gradually kind of fade down to that gorgeous glossy green.
It's really something, but I'd have to buy this in pairs. Some things I like just natural on its own, but I like some things I like to have a little bit of symmetry with. So imagine framing the entrance to a house, get some gorgeous pots of them, and you're going to love it, the transformation. So yeah, YGTV 2525, free frozen packaging on anything on the show. Okay, we're going to look at the favourites table in a second, but the Hydrangeas, the magical fire, this has been so popular. It's the colours here, they're just mottled and they're just fascinating to look at here. They don't get too overgrown either, they stay quite compact. 511635, that's £12.74. Okay, if you are not a club member, and I've been talking about this a lot, but I just can't believe how much money you can save. Truly, the prices are already excellent, but you can get them even better. So if you go for the auto renewal yearly subscription, and it'll stay like that next year too, you can cancel any time, of course you can, but it's £10 for the year. So you get 7.5% off outdoor living machinery, but 15% off plants and accessories. You also get £20 worth in product vouchers. That's 4 times 5 vouchers each. You can use them in the same day as well, just do another order. It's 2 free P&P vouchers, exclusive offers, and even more expert gardening and knowledge. It's very much a community spirit, the club, but you can save a lot of money. And even ordering a few items on this live show, it's easy to get your £10 back, maybe even the first order. And then, well, you're a club member, then you can look forward to getting the best prices. And thousands of you are club members, so thanks so much on behalf of YouGarden, because I know that they really appreciate it, but there's such a good community spirit there. Right, Adam, challenge for you.
I know.
What's your favourite? I'm intrigued. I always like
well, I'm going to go for these. I'm going to go for the polymoniums.
Because they're not divas.
No, they're not divas.
They grow easily.
Yeah, they're good because I've been sort of self-employed for 40 years, so I've met all sorts of customers and clients over the years, and some people are experienced gardeners, some people are new gardeners, and it's always good to have like a certain kind of stock list of plants that you can always say to anybody, you know,
right,
here's X, Y and Z plant. Anybody can grow that, and this is one of those plants. The polymonium. These are stunning.
It's a good confidence booster for inexperienced gardeners.
Yeah, it is, because obviously that's how I got hooked on gardening. I mean, my dad built me a little wooden box when I was a kid, filled it with soil. My mum bought me some freesia bulbs. I planted them.
Is that the first thing you planted?
Yeah. They flowered, and because they flowered, I got hooked on gardening. I can remember those flowers to this day, and I can remember the fragrance and everything. So if your gardening experience starts off on a positive note, then you're going to love gardening, you're going to enjoy gardening, you're going to probably garden for the rest of your life. And something like these polymoniums can start you on that journey, because first of all, these are beautiful sized plants. You've got these incredible flowers as well, these deep purple flowers. These are bone hardy, these plants, so they'll come back for you year after year after year. They die down during the winter, but they come back every spring. Sort of about 18 inches to 24 inches tall. These will keep flowering throughout the summer. They've got beautiful foliage, loved by the pollinating insects, growing pretty much any soils, full sun, part shade. They just literally tick a whole list of boxes, to be honest.
They really do, don't they? You know, I think that's going to be one of my favourites too, actually.
You can't choose the same. Well, you could.
Right, okay, okay. Right, I'm going to go for the vintage love then, actually.
Okay.
The Weigela. You know, and honestly, I like all of them, don't get me wrong. I would have thought it would be the poppy, because I just love that colour. But there is actually something about this. It's the colouring of those flowers for me. And there's something quite contained. It's so sweet. I mean, it's just got so many aspects of beauty in one plant. It's amazing. But for me, it's the glossy leaves that really grab my attention. So deep green.
I had a gut feeling you were going to choose that, Charlie, because the way you've spoken about that today has been so from the heart. You can literally see that you are truly impressed with that plant. It's
really
caught
nice.
your imagination, that one, hasn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely has caught my imagination.
And I think, because you and I have had a few discussions about your garden last week, and you're a foliage man as well, aren't you? You love your foliage,
love my
don't you?
evergreens. Yeah, I do love my foliage. I need a bit more colour in it though.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I got some lovely salvias yesterday actually, because I love those. But I really want this because this has got that green which I love, and also just a few little pops of colour around there. I need a bit more than that, so that would be really, really handy.
And the way that flower, that beautiful flower, stands out against that incredible dark foliage, one sets the other off. And this is a hardy plant. It'll come back for year after year. Only gets to about 60 centimetres tall as well. It does lose its leaves in the autumn. Don't worry about that. That's just the people locking up. If you hear that noise,
Right.
we have people coming in the morning. They do lots and lots of watering, and then when they leave, they secure the main building, and that's just to let us know.
Right.
So
that's very polite.
We're all good. We're all fine.
At least we know everything's been watered well.
But you could even grow this in a container because it's so nice and compact. But of course, you can grow it in the ground if you want to.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. I think that's going to be my favourite. Yeah, £12.74. Right, guys, we need to encourage you to check out your baskets. We're coming towards the end of the show. If you're tempted by any of these, look, the value on every single one is excellent. I can't pick a favourite in terms of value. They're always impressive. The savings you see on the side of your screen is mind-blowingly good. But to get that, for how much pleasure is that going to bring you at home for £12.74? Right, 511643. Right, now you are on TikTok, aren't you?
Yes, afternoon, myself and Jake, So, I think we've got 3 hours on TikTok. So, it's going to be fun. There'll be sort of giveaways, 1:30. There's going to be some giveaways. There's going to be some flash sales. We've got a beautiful range of plants. So,
it's good fun, isn't it? And so we've got great deals this afternoon. We've got some brand new deals coming this Thursday on YouGarden TV. So don't forget, every single Thursday and Saturday morning, you can watch us live here on YouGarden TV. And we have so many experts. Of course, Adam obviously being one of them. We learn so much of them. It's been brilliant. At the end of the show.
Good to see you again, Charlie.
Thanks very much,
I enjoyed that today. Thank you. That was lovely. Lovely to work with you.
This is the perfect way to start a Sunday, I think. Cup of tea, bit of garden, talk about some lovely plants. This is gorgeous. I love it here. They've always made me feel very, very at home. And thanks for all your compliments. I hope you've enjoyed the show as much as we had. We'll see you very soon. So Adam's here at TikTok. They're locking up. You can hear that. So we better lock up too. But thanks for watching and have a lovely rest of your weekend.
Bye.